Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean.
Post-game show with Seth Joyner.
I knew that they had a running game.
Derek Gunn.
He has put in the effort.
Devin Caney.
Had we not won the Super Bowl, what would we be saying?
And Mike Missinelli.
Well, you know who Philly is.
Post-game, now streaming on the 6ABC family of apps.
Hump day! What's up, everybody?
It's hump day.
No.
No?
It is
Not
not
hump day?
hump. No, it is not hump day.
No.
It's March 1st, baby. March 1st is here.
Well, you know
One
how
step
Philly is.
closer to warm weather.
Yeah, you know how Philly is when it comes to March 1st. You know how Philly is.
Well, we knew they would put in. Yeah, shut up, man.
It's already started.
See what I mean, Rob? See,
Already started. I know.
The-
That one's on Barrett. That one's not on you. For
this
what?
is the reason why. This is the reason why I'm going back to D-Gun. I tried. I gave it two.
Can't survive in
solid
these streets not being D-Gun. You got to be D-Gun.
You got to give me credit. I tried for 2 months to change. I gave it 2 months. The old
know.
college tried for 2 months, and you know,
It didn't work.
funny thing is, I agree with him 100%, but that angers me even more because I agree with him.
Oh,
It is jealousy because I know y'all were eating good, man. You know, like y'all.
So that's the only reason you're jealous because we had good food. That's it.
Bro, because he was telling us all about it, sending screenshots of it. You know, they got filet mignons, lobsters, not filet mignon, but filet mignons,
Scallops,
lobsters,
scallops.
and
Did I say scallops?
Yeah, and me and Rob.
Good in the neighborhood.
Me and Rob eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and
Not even.
We don't get upset when you take time off and you have all these fabulous meals and you go on these great fishing trips and talking about the fishing trip you're about to go. We don't get upset.
I'm about to go on one, but bro,
Yeah.
I miss days because I'm getting poked and prodded and playing with Legos.
Nah, that ain't no reason. Nah, it's not the only reason you miss days.
Or I'm going out to a college game in a place.
Okay.
Where I go down to North Carolina and I gotta eat at the Piggly Wiggly.
Dude, that's an upgrade from White Castle. Seriously. That's an upgrade.
I ate White Castle this morning.
No, you didn't.
Honest to God.
I expect you to be missing from at least one segment.
Be a late one.
I can see it right now. Well, you know, Rob, I was
Rubble guts, as they call it. Yeah. I hear you, man. I hear you.
I can't believe today's Wednesday, man.
Wednesday,
yeah,
man.
baby.
March 1st. This
March
year is
1st.
flying by, isn't it? It's flying by.
Yeah. So far, so good, man.
Yep,
We're
Combine
avoiding
is there. I got this new thing. I get to watch all the. I get to watch all the NBC hooked it up for me. I get to watch all the college football players and everything that I want to watch now. Unbelievable, unbelievable. They went out and spent money on me, bro. I'm breaking it down, all the way down.
About time they spent some money on you.
Well, you're right.
Yes,
I got a new project and I got this thing now where I can take it comes with a laptop and a big screen like a 70-inch TV.
Oh, just 70. Okay.
And I can write. No, they got it up there. It's in the. I can write on it. I mean, I can.
Oh, all right.
Players and
Telestrator.
Telestrator. Yeah, I got that now.
Like that, man. Like that.
In the
All right.
fold.
What is that on the show set or is that just that near your
On
office?
the show set.
Yeah.
The big homie is making it happen now.
Only took him how many years?
25. But who's counting? 26 actually in September. So what's up, everybody? We see you. We see you.
Man.
We see you, Jeremy, PTB, Andres, Mood Swing, Bella.
Hello. Look at Niners all damn day.
He's put in the effort.
Love it, man.
I know.
Love it, man. Love it.
Oh my goodness.
Young gamer, A-Dog, Eagles realist, fitness rebel, Chris D, our girls, everybody hanging out. We're glad to be with you today. We have Mark Jackson, speaking of NBC Sports Philadelphia. He's going to be joining us at 2 o'clock. Mark does in-studio pre- and post-game work and halftime as well for NBC Sports Philadelphia, along with our friend Amy Fadul and the coach, Jimmy Lydham. So we'll talk to Mark coming up at 2 because the Sixers have another big one tonight, guys, against the Heat. They've lost 2 in a row, Boston and the Heat, and the city is basically like, you are what we thought you were. So we'll talk to Mark about that.
Is that fair? Is that fair, Rob? Though? I know you said that you commented on that yesterday, and I thought about it. I don't know if that's fair, man. I mean,
Barrett, look, I waved the flag that we should give them a chance. This is a new group. I remember after the Memphis game, I said, look, this team looks different and all that. But I got to be honest with you, man. I'm having a hard time defending them right now. I sort of feel like I do with Gannon after the Super Bowl. Like I think that it's maybe it's recency bias, but it feels like we're setting ourselves up for failure again here. But you know, again, look, we'll find out. They're going to have to prove it right now because this stretch is a big boy stretch, and they're going to be playing some really good teams. Think about this: they got Miami tonight and Dallas tomorrow.
Right.
Do I hear a little tenseness in your tone?
Yes.
When it comes to your Sixers?
Yes.
Wait. Really?
Bro, you didn't hear him yesterday?
Wow.
It started out yesterday, and I kind of just let it flow.
Wow.
Yeah. I just let it go. But I heard it yesterday, and I remember I told you guys that I think they're going to win the next 3 games, and then they're going to lose the next.
You did say that.
Yeah. I know. I can't wait. I can't wait to talk to you next Monday. But wait, are you on the show next Monday? I don't know. Is it one of your days off? I got to check. Let me see. Are you here next Monday?
Wow.
Jeez, man.
I'm here. Well, I'm here Monday.
Yeah.
On Monday. I'm here Tuesday.
Oh,
I'm flying out Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
Thursday,
All right. So 2 days next week. Okay.
Monday.
Oh, okay. All right. No problem.
I don't deserve, bro.
Do what you gotta do.
No problem.
Go ahead.
Oh, don't get mad at me, bro. You know what it is? You know, Derek, I already know what it is, Derek.
What is it, Barrett?
Because before the grandkids,
Uh-huh.
you were able to do what you needed to do. Now, if you can't, have grandkids, will travel. And I understand that. Have grandkids, will travel. So they occupy your time now.
How'd you know? It's true.
Because I was talking to my son yesterday, and he said, yeah, Pops, I think I'm going to be up there with you in about another year and a half. And that means if he comes up here, that means I'll have my youngest daughter's, she's pregnant now.
Yep.
So I'll have my granddaughter or grandson.
When does she do? When's the big day?
She's due in July.
Okay.
But she has a gender reveal on the 24th.
24th.
So yes,
March?
we don't know what's going on yet.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So your son's gonna move from St. Louis to where you live?
So my son lives in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
He said, Pops, I'm tired of being here.
You're gonna have the whole crew, man. The whole.
Right.
All
So
right.
he's gonna move back up here. And I mean, I know he's gonna have to stay with me the first couple of months until he finds somewhere to stay. So next month or year or whatever it's gonna take. So I'll have my 2 grands, my grandson, he's 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then my granddaughter, she's 3.
So how many grandkids will you have in your immediate vicinity?
In another year and a half, I'll have all 3. But I mean, in come July, I'll just have my grandbaby.
You might as well sell your boat.
I know, man.
Now, what he's saying to you is, Gunner, he's got to get it in now.
I know. I agree. Because this crept up on me. I'm telling you. Now my oldest grandson is 4. But this crept up on me because, my wife and I always say, when we have grandkids, we can't rate the babysit them. We can't wait to do this. Hey, man, I didn't know it was going to be like every everyday thing.
Bro, but it's so much fun, though, man. It is so much fun.
It is until you get vomited on. It is until you change the diaper and you look up, it's all over the mat. Oh, hey, what's it? Hey, you got to control this. I know you're only 2 days old. You got to control this.
You got to incorporate them into it. Rob, just wait, Rob. My boat, I'm good with my, I'm saying I'm good for when my boat, the boat that stays in Wildwood at Schooner Island.
Yeah.
It's good because I had my grandson out this summer and he's gonna help me again.
Perfect.
Wax the boat down. He wax it down so I get it ready to get in.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in the way more so than anything, but he's got to help with that. and then put in the water, and we just keep it there. Now my other boats, my fishing boats, the fishing, the hardcore fishing boats. Those boats, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to take them out as much because
no, you're not.
Grandkids.
Mm-mm.
You're probably right. You're absolutely right.
Hey, hold up, Fitness Rebel and Chris D. You see this? D Gun starting on Barrett early today. Fitness Rebel. Hold up, Fitness Rebel. Another day, D Gun choosing violence. Get him, Barrett. But see, they didn't hear off the top of the show how you attacked me first. They didn't hear that part. They just jumped on when they heard me retaliate. But that's okay. If they're in Barrett's corner,
it's always like that.
Little Barrett,
like that, though.
Little
we
Barrett
learned that on the
needs
field.
Nurturing. You learn what on the field?
That it's never the guy that does the
initial. Leg. That's right.
That's right. It's the after the retaliation that they see.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's what it is.
But see, Barrett, I'm fine with that. I don't mind being Darth Vader.
Look at Kevin Samara. You're right, man. How many car seats fit in your back of my? You're right,
dude. There's time I have two at one time sometimes. And let me tell you something. These newfangled car seats.
Yeah.
I feel dumb trying to strap kids in. You got buttons here. My wife went out and bought one, paid almost $400 for this thing. She keeps in her car. It has a swivel seat. So if the baby, when the babies are small, you have to have the back turned to the front. Yeah, they got it turned front. Yeah, when they get to a certain age, you can turn it this way, back to
right.
Oh, dude, straps, buttons, all this stuff. And then my kids are reprimanding me, Dad, how many times do we have to show you this? I'm thinking, hold up here. Who the parent? Who the kid here?
Right.
And I feel dumb.
Well, see, you get to take them fishing though. You can incorporate them into fishing. You got to start them early though. You got to start them early.
Tina won't let me take cruise unless she goes. I'm like, what? No, and he can only go if I go. I'm like, what? Okay, sounds good to me. That's one less dude I got to chase up and down the shore or pull a hook out of the rocks of the weed.
See, I don't understand that because Tina's right there with you all the time.
Yes, and we raise them.
We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah. Exactly. Here's the worst. Here's the worst part though. My oldest daughter had two kids. She had 2 kids in less than 14 months. So the diaper sizes are close. One's 18 months, the other one's 6 months. But they got diapers. I got to look at the color of the diaper. Is it a Mickey Mouse diaper or a Donald Duck to determine which baby gets which? I'm looking at the diaper. I'm like, she goes, Dad, it's really simple. That's Mickey Mouse. It's for Ariana. And this one over here is for Eli. And I'm like, it looked the same to me.
Right.
So the other day, I accidentally started putting the 6-month-old diaper on the 19-month-old. I couldn't figure out why she was saying, Tata, stop it. Stop it. I'm like, what? I couldn't fasten it. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Rob, I know you didn't expect the show to derail like this.
I did not.
It's what we do,
I didn't
Rob.
imagine diaper talk.
Yes, Rob, it's what we do.
I hear
it's what we do.
It is.
I'm driving home and my grandson, he decides every time when I'm driving home that he wants to call me because he knows exactly. He knows I get off at 6:30, and when I get off at 6:30, I'm off. So when I get off at 6:30, I'm in the car by 6:35.
Right.
And headed out the fence, leaving the Wells Fargo Center.
Yep.
So he calls me, hey, Pop. I said, what's up, man? Did you know that they got a new video game? I said, no, I didn't know. Yeah. Let me tell you about it. I said, I don't play video games. Yeah, but just in case you wanted to get it so you could play with me. So I'm gonna get it to play with you all the way in Atlanta. Because you don't these days you don't buy the disc like we had to buy the disc or the cartridge or something. Like we had to blow.
Yeah.
There's come program like you buy it and it just downloads software and it downloads on the computer. So they don't need to have it. They don't need to have the physical copy there. Yeah. I'm like, bro, they just want to get every single dime of your money, don't they?
They sure do.
Oh, my grandson, will you be making ribs today? No, not today. Why? But I want some. I'm like, you ain't getting them today, bro. I'm sorry. Or at 4 years old, everything now is why. Either two things. Why or but I want it. I said, your mom said you can't have, but I want it. And I sit there and he'll ask his mom and dad if he could have like one of the ices or something, and they'll say, no, you already have one, that's enough. This little joker sneaks around that corner, comes around, Tata, let's go outside and get an icy and don't say anything. Like, what? I'm already in enough trouble
Right,
every day. You ain't getting me.
Wait till they get older. Oh my God.
Well, hey, on another topic.
Yeah.
When are we going skeet shooting again, bro?
I got to talk to Job, my son. We got to get Rob on this.
Rob, you got to go with us, bro.
Rob, you ever shot a gun?
No.
You got to come out, man. I didn't want. I went out. I went out and bought me a shotgun. Now we go shotgun. One time, bro, and I hate to say it, man, but Josh, he was just playing around. I thought he was just playing around.
My son-in-law, Josh. Yeah.
He says, "Watch this. I'm about to hit 2 at one time," and boom, one went up, and the other one went, and he pow right at the exact moment they were crossing by each other. He shot both of them at the same time. Oh yeah, I was
that's why I'll mess with him.
I was like, damn.
You didn't see the video.
I don't trust Rob with a gun either. That's why Rob has never shot a gun. Okay. And I agree with you, Gigi.
That time we went out for my son-in-law's bachelor party. He wanted to go skeet shooting. It's this incredible range in Nowhere, Maryland. I'm talking about this was an area like they probably used it to make a remake of Deliverance.
Right.
That's out in the woods.
Well, like to say, don't say no black folks, but there was none out there.
Ain't none out there but me,
Barry, and only 2.
It. and my son Jordan. That was it, Jack.
Right.
That was it. If something went down, we were history that day. But we were surrounded by good people, man.
Great people, man.
But you don't see the video where he put the gun over his shoulder and said, pull, and the skeet goes up in the air. He has his gun laying over his shoulder, shoots it in the air over his shoulder like this. I'm like,
wow.
Really?
Bro, it's crazy. So I had to go out and get me one. So I got me one now. So I haven't even shot it yet because I'm supposed to go with you guys. Got to go with you guys.
No, man. You know what? You can't go because you antagonize me too much. It's only March. In 2 months, you've gotten under my skin. Matter of fact, when we do decide to go, and Josh said, "Hey, did you call Barrett?" I'm gonna say, "Oh yeah, I called him. He said he couldn't go."
Let's go. Josh he gonna call me because Josh, me and Josh talk all the time.
I know, but I'm gonna tell Josh he changed his number. I got it planned out already. I'm telling you right now. So.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. But that's what it was a lot about. But hey,
all right. So let's get back
to sports.
Talk something here.
Who wants to talk sports, man? Family's more important.
Good point. Good
all right,
point.
Okay, Rob.
This
take
is
control, please.
All right, this is an unfamily-like move by CJ Gardner-Johnson. So Elliott Shore Parks had a clip of Jonathan Gannon explaining what happened in the Super Bowl, and I thought in the clip, basically, taking a lot of responsibility anyway. So CJ Gardner-Johnson, I guess, quote tweets the soundbite that Gannon put out there, which I thought was interesting that he reacted in this way, because Gannon was essentially just talking about, hey, look, we all got to do a better job, all this other stuff. Anyway, so CJ Gardner-Johnson put a tweet out saying, "You ain't put us in a position to make plays." Then he deleted it. Then he said, "I'm going to bed." So that was all this morning. All right, here's my reaction to it first. CJ Gardner-Johnson had the best year of his career this year.
Absolutely, out of that.
As did a lot of guys, which means a lot of guys made a lot of money with Jonathan Gannon as the defensive coordinator. I'm taking nothing away from the talent these guys have. They're clearly talented players. But it's a weird shots fired when Gannon wasn't even blaming anybody. This was not, if you listen to the clip, he's not saying, "Hey, man, players didn't make plays. What do you want me to do?" It wasn't like that. It was basically, I feel bad.
He didn't pull a Chip Kelly.
He didn't. He said, look, I feel responsibility to the city, to Mr. Laurie, to Nick. I forget what else he said. I'm paraphrasing, but basically it was just like, whatever. I'm sorry it didn't work out, and
he fell on the sword.
I felt bad about it, and then GJ fires that off. I love the guy. I think it's pretty weak, personally. That's just me. I know everybody's going to love it because he's crapping on Gannon.
You just blew up the chat. You just blew it up.
Okay, good.
Right, they're going fire. But you know what? And I understand. What you're saying, but still, the players a lot of the times make coaches look good.
Yeah,
true. And that's one of those. When you're on the biggest stage, you have to make the coach, even though the coach may call a bad call, you have to play above and beyond and make sure that whatever he calls works. And that's it in a nutshell. That's it at the end of the day. You're not going to get every call right. You know what I'm saying? And that's not me being on bandwagon or anything like that. That has nothing to do with that.
You know what, Timoleon? I think a lot of people would agree with you.
Oh man, hey, look,
for sure.
look here. CJ made plays. CJ was the only player on defense that made plays in the second half.
Yeah, he came up and lit up.
And then what about an open field tackle down in the flats? If he misses that tackle, who had the ball? Was it Pacheco who had caught the pass?
Pacheco.
I mean, he made a nice open field tackle.
Both hits with Pacheco.
Huh? Yeah,
both plays against him.
Pacheco would have still been running. He made a couple of plays, but you know what? I applaud Gannon for taking the high road, saying it was on me as much as anybody.
Right.
But I will also agree with what Rob is saying. You made plays all season long. You were this vaunted defense. You found a way to get it done. On the biggest of stages, 11 guys on the field went, okay?
Yes.
Couldn't get to the quarterback. Receivers running wide open in the middle of the field, out in the flats. You let them walk up and down the field and score every time they touch the ball in the second half. So how much of that is on you? You with your 70 sacks, your pass defense, your fewest points allowed. How much of that is on you that you gave up? What did they have? 38. You gave up 31 out of the 38 points.
Right.
You gave up on the biggest game of the season, 31 points. So how much do you put it on yourself as well? There's two parties at fault. The best thing CJ could have done was say absolutely nothing. Because see, now it's a conversation.
You're right. You got to put it. You got to accept that responsibility also. Just like they said, the field condition. I understand the rush couldn't get there because guys were falling. They're trying to turn the corner. They couldn't. The feet slipping from underneath them. Understand that. But their defense, the Kansas City Chiefs defense was also on the same field. Now, I can also say that they adjusted because they started sending the blitz from the interior. And it's hard when you're running a straight line to fall. If you're running on the outside, you fall because you don't have the right footing. You slide off in. So what he did was he blitzed everybody from the middle. That way is you're just going straight ahead.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Straight ahead. And that's, that's different. But at the end of the day, great players make good coaches look great.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with you about the edge rushers, but how many times did that you want to talk about straight ahead rushing, your D tackles press the pocket? How many times during the season we see that, them collapse in the pocket? Why couldn't they do it in this game?
I don't know.
I don't care if you're playing on ice skates. If one
they did do that. They did do that. They did rush them up the middle. But he would sidestep because the rushers on the outside would fall down.
Yep.
And that's how he was able to leak out.
Hassan was on the ground a lot.
Okay.
A whole lot. In fact, he started whooping the tackle started whooping his ass on top of him.
That's right. That's right. That's what you do.
Yeah,
he's smart. Smart by their guy.
He laid on top of him like it was a mattress, man.
Yeah, but here's my thing. Like, everybody wears that. Like, everybody. I thought Gannon was terrible in the Super Bowl, but there were too many players on that side of the ball that didn't make plays either. It's a weird thing, man. Like, you're a free agent now. I'm not sure how that benefits you. He must clearly have some pent up issues with Gannon, obviously. But
yes,
I would also look at it if from his standpoint and say, man, I made a lot of money off of this season. But I guess guys don't look at it that way. I don't know.
And why would you wait 3 weeks after the game to make a comment like that? 2-3 weeks. Why would you do that?
I don't know. Strange.
Now, see, here's the thing. So you got a new DC in place. You're going to have new teammates in place. Was this a prelude of what could possibly be coming from him if he stays here? When things don't go wrong, you start leaking little things here and there like that again? Because that's not the culture that we talk about with this Eagles locker room that they want in the locker room. You don't hear players, think about it. You don't hear players doing this in the Eagles locker room.
Well, two things.
Now, I'm sorry, but I hear about it from players. I don't repeat what I hear.
Yeah.
But you don't hear players publicly putting stuff out there like that, whether things are going good or bad.
No, I think two things I take away from this. One, the Eagles clearly wanted Gannon back. They offered him an extension and a raise. So they thought that much of him. They've hired somebody now in Sean Desai who is similar in his, if you want to call it lack of aggression, however you want to look at it. He's not a big blitzer either. So does that mean that CJ Gardner-Johnson would not want to be back here? because you're playing in a similar scheme? Is this the writing on the wall for him? Does he know he's gone? Is he firing off because of that? I don't know. There's a lot of different ways to look at it. If he wasn't just being emotional and jumping in there. And again, if you listen to it, there wasn't anything to be offended by if you're a player by what Gannon was saying. This was not Chip Kelly back in the day.
No,
nope.
You know, laying it on the players. It's a strange reaction. And again, I get it. The fans are going to applaud him for it. I just thought it was kind of weird. That's the way I look at it.
You make a comment like that, like right after a game in the heat of emotion when the adrenaline is really flowing. When you make mistakes like that, even if you feel it, is the strongest heartfelt feeling. You don't wait 2 or 3 weeks after the fact and then all of a sudden say that. So, and I wonder, first of all, he says it. Now, you know, once it's on Twitter, even when you delete it, it's already out there.
Right.
Somebody got it like within seconds of you tweeting it.
Bro,
So,
I mean, that's what happens all the time. I teach kids all the time, you know, when I go out and speak to these kids, even in high school, I say, look, once you hit send, it's privileged to 7 billion people in the world. You can't take it back. It's out there. You never bring it back. So make sure what you're representing, you really want to represent. When Gannon's fall on the sword, let that man fall on the sword. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have said nothing. But, hey, I can't say that. I'm talking to a guy that's about to get millions.
Sure,
millions.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? But still, you don't do that, man. I mean,
let me hit you with one other one that's interesting. The sod father has spoken. George Toma, okay, who just retired, I guess, stepped away from his NFL duties, but he was the guy who has done the NFL Super. Was it 27 straight years, whatever it's been? Maybe it's longer than that. I don't know. But basically, the way that he explained what happened with the turf at the Super Bowl was they did all the proper treatment to it and watered it on Wednesday before the game. So Wednesday before the Sunday game, outside. His claim is they then, after watering it, put it immediately inside instead of letting it sit out and dry out and get the sun and everything that, you know, that comes with that. They put it right inside the dome. Okay. Which meant it never dried properly. As the week went on, he was getting complaints from people saying it smelled like it was rotten, that everything was loose. And after figuring that out, I don't know what day, Friday or Saturday, the man in charge, Ed Mangan, who was the NFL field director, should have seeded the field to try to soak up some of the moisture that was in the grass. This is according to George Toma. Now, Toma has resigned from the NFL. He basically is out of Fs. He doesn't give any more Fs, so he's going to say whatever he wants. And he also doesn't like that his reputation was besmirched because he's never had issues before. Like
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Right.
So he's basically saying, I did what I always do. It's not the ryegrass. It's not the way it was prepared. This was good to go. You know, Wednesday, I do what I do, and then they're supposed to do the right thing. And he said that there were even people saying to him, hey, this is not right. You need to do X, Y, and Z. And the guy was basically like, I got it.
All right.
Well, as someone who has laid many rolls of sod in his life and reseeded, there's something to the fact that if you don't properly treat it in sun-wise, it retains moisture to a point that you do get a smell to it. This grass was a combination of a Bermuda and rye, and it's the type of grass used exclusively in areas like Arizona because of the heat. This type of grass withstands the heat. It would have dried up immediately if they had rolled that field out the way they were supposed to, according to what this guy's saying. It would have dried up. It was in the 80s, man. It would have dried up within an hour.
Yeah.
You know, so the fact, and I've heard stories about they put a tarp over it. Why would you put a tarp over it?
They did do that. Yeah.
Why would you?
I don't know. How's this guy in charge? You know,
the biggest stage ever.
Now you overwater it because you want to expedite the growth of the grass, but this is something that should have been done months in advance, not a couple of weeks in advance. Arizona season ended January 8th. You should immediately start the transition then. You had a whole month before the actual game was going to be played. Okay. Now I'm thinking they started weeks before the Super Bowl making a transition.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, that's not enough time. You know, and then on top of that, you got all that spray paint on top of it as well, which makes it even slicker. As we saw, both teams sliding like you were looking at the Disney ice capades. You know, so hopefully they've learned a lesson. Like I said, and I can't say it enough. Thank goodness nobody suffered a severe injury like a knee, ankle, something like that, because those are the type of surfaces you very easily could have snapped the ACL and Achilles, anything. So they got lucky in that regard that everybody walked off their field safe.
Yeah, the league is quite fortunate, that's for sure. All right, so we have a lot to dive into here when we come back. Mark Jackson at 2 o'clock, but Brian Johnson,
I knew
Sean
we had
Desai,
Mark Jackson at 2 o'clock.
Huh?
I knew we had Mark Jackson at 2 o'clock.
They are official now. Sean Desai, and
You know how Rob is.
I know. Well, here's something else I know. People are going to be thrilled to hear the blitz percentage for Sean Desai. If they love Jonathan Gannon,
You're
as
right.
much as they did.
Rob,
They're
they're
going
about
to
to
be thrilled
yeah.
with this when I tell
Right.
you how much he blitzes when we come back. So we'll dig into that. A lot of other stuff to get into. Some of the things Howie said yesterday, what Nick Sirianni said, what the future is with Denard Wilson, other promotions that the Eagles gave in-house. There's a lot to get into. And we got a whole NFL segment coming up at 1 o'clock. We'll talk some Sixers with Mark Jackson. We'll talk some Phillies. Painter pitches today, guys. He makes his debut. Flyers finally realized they should be selling. It only took them, I think, 15 to 20 years to realize that. So we will get into all those things.
Can we just stop the show at 1 o'clock so we can watch Painter pitch?
I don't know if it's on.
What? How do you not have this kid on TV today? Everybody wants to see this kid.
They don't black out games in
They just don't broadcast.
X amount of games. Yeah, they only show like 13.
I'm not saying it's not on. I'm not. I don't want to say for sure. I don't think it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
Barrett, in a commercial break, call your people over at NBC and ask, are they televising this game today? Call your people.
Yes. All right.
Do something positive instead of ripping people all morning.
Wow. All right. All right. Let me sneak one in here, and we will come back and hit a lot of stuff. We got a lot to do.
I ain't coming back, man.
You're not coming back. Derek's done.
Man.
I knew he wasn't coming back. Don't go anywhere, people. You don't know what you're going to get from segment to segment. That's for sure. It's been an interesting one so far on the first day of March. He's Derek. He's Barrett. I'm Rob. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, I'm going to tell you about Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group because, look, it took me forever to find the right person to trust with my hard-earned money, which, in a lot of ways dictates your future, right? But I finally did find the right person, and I want you to have that right person as well. And that's Jim Murray and Principal Financial Group. Whether it's retirement planning, 401k review, insurance review, look, you may not be happy with what you have right now, and you're looking at saying, I could do better than this. Well, Jim is the man to reach out to. Again, I've entrusted my IRA, my 401k rollovers to Jim, and I couldn't be any happier. You will be too. Give him a call, 610-996-4751. 610-996-4751. Could also email him, Murray, MURRAY.Jim@principal.com. That's Murray.Jim@principal.com.
Philadelphia fans were cut from a different cloth. Born into a brotherhood and bonded to our team for life. We believe anything is possible because we've witnessed the impossible. While we may be from different neighborhoods, come Sunday, we are one, and we will be heard. Pondley Hockey, official partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Go for the beers, go for the cheers, go for the hit and the hits, go for the scene, go for the screens, go for the gallery, go for the win, go to Ocean.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer 3 major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
My name is Fran Salerno, and I'm Managing Director here at Del Valle Insurance Group. Been in the business for over 36 years, saving people money on their insurance needs. Give us a call. Let us help you custom design an insurance plan that meets both your needs and budget.
What's up, everybody? Great hanging out with you on this Wednesday. It is the first day of March 2023. Hopefully warm weather is coming our way. We're going to have daylight savings before you know it. Sun will be out a little bit later. It was out to like 6 last night, so that was kind of nice.
Oh, man.
And getting
That's
warmer.
awesome.
We're inching closer there. All right, so let's hit a couple things here, guys. So Brian Johnson is official. Sean Desai is official. Both Howie and Nick Sirianni yesterday at the Combine acknowledged as much. So let's start with Brian Johnson. We know he's the quarterback's coach. He's 36 years old. He has a long, rich history with Jalen Hurts, dating back to Jalen being 3 years old and Brian playing for his father in the Houston area, playing high school football for his father. He takes over. He moves his way up. He has called plays before. He has been an offensive coordinator before at the college level. They have elevated a couple of guys. Alex Tanney has been promoted to quarterback's coach. He was the assistant QB coach, offensive assistant last year. Marcus Brady is now a senior offensive assistant. He was the Colts OC with Frank Reich in 21 and 22. TJ Paganetti is now the running game specialist, assistant tight end coach. Brian Johnson will call plays. So a little nugget that we did find out as well. Nick acknowledged this yesterday. They did also interview Nate Scheelhaas, who was the offensive coordinator from Iowa State. Nick and Matt Campbell, who's Iowa State's coach, have a relationship that goes way back. Those two are extremely tight, and he talked about how much respect he has for the program and the way that offense is run. He was Scheelhaas was there, I believe, with Purdy when Purdy was the quarterback there. Anyway, but that we hadn't heard any other names, so that's why that's I think of interest there on the offensive side. Also of note, and I'm going to get to Desai in 1 second, but the Eagles will get compensation if either Brian Johnson or Sean Desai are hired for head coaching gigs because of the Rooney Rule. Johnson being an African-American, Desai being an Indian-American, that they would qualify under the Rooney Rule to get compensation for those guys. All right, so there's that.
Hold on a second.
Yes.
I also did not know that Nick didn't know damn near half his staff that he hired when he got the job. I didn't know that.
In other words, that it was at the Eagles' behest, or
no?
what?
He interviewed them.
Oh,
but I thought when you interview coaches and the staff, you interview guys that you came up through, or you were around.
A lot of times you do, but you also bring in you also bring in fresh approach. You know, in a job like that, when you get that kind of job, you want to listen to any and everybody, because something may jump out at one, it may not jump out at the other. You know, so a lot of times coaches will hire assistants they're not very familiar with. You know,
that caught me off guard, because I always think that coaching is the good old boy system. You bring your boys up through the ranks. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, that was kind of new that he said that, like, he didn't know the linebacker coach before he hired him. You know what I'm saying? Usually it's word of mouth, or somebody who knows somebody that brings them in. I did not know that. That kind of surprised me. That they did it that way. I mean,
I kind of like that he wasn't tied to every one of these guys.
Right. I mean, it gave a new and fresher perspective. So they've went on and changed the coaching staff. Because up until yesterday, it had the old coaching staff there. Well, now the new coaching staff is up there now. Well, who's ever new now? Like the guys that are new positions to be coaches now. So.
Mm-hmm. No, Barry, I'm with you. I think, and that is an interesting point to note when it comes to that.
Yeah, it's changing. Offensive coordinators now, Brian. I mean, everything is everything right now. So and the new coaches they have as far as in different positions now, guys that have been accelerated or brought up through the ranks and that are there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, no question. All right, so Desai gets hired. So his history is last year he was the assistant head coach, and defensive coach with the Seahawks. Before that, he spent 9 years with the Bears. Last couple as the defensive coordinator. And it runs a scheme where it's not really absolutely defined. It's kind of a hybrid 3-4 base zone. It's kind of what he likes to do. It's the Vic Fangio school of coaching. But let me give you some numbers here. So in Desai's year as the defensive coordinator under Matt Nagy, the Bears blitzed 123 times. That was 29th in the league. But 11 times more than the Eagles that year, who ranked 31st. Last year in Seattle, again, he wasn't the defensive coordinator, but they blitzed just 95 times, second fewest in the league. By comparison, 51 times fewer than the Eagles. The Eagles were 17th, by the way. They were almost right there in the middle in terms of blitzing, just to put it in perspective. In Fangio's 3 years as the Broncos head coach, and again, Desai comes from the Fangio branch, Denver blitzed 400 times, fourth fewest in the NFL. I bring all this up because this is not going to be Jim Johnson. It's not going to be Buddy or Bud Carson. It's going to be 3-4 base, mixing it up, zone coverage, too high safety shell. Coverage is geared towards not giving up the big play, just because that's who he is, and that's what he believes in. Now, will he put his own twist on stuff? Yes, I think so. And do you always have to take into account the personnel that you have? Yes, you do. And that dictates sometimes what you do. But I think at the core, this is what Nick Sirianni wants, what Howie Roseman wants. This is how the Eagles want their defense to be, not a blitz-heavy defense.
I can't get too jacked up about this hiring, and that's not a knock against him, but just based on his history, when you look at when he was the coordinator, and I mentioned this to you guys yesterday, I understand why they didn't blitz much in Seattle, because they didn't have the defensive personnel. But I ran off the names. They had a defense, especially at the linebacking position when he was in Chicago with Roquan Smith and Khalil Mack. And when you tell me those numbers, I can't get excited about that. I'd have been blitzing the heck out of them dudes all day long, to be honest with you. Now, and when you talk about playing zone defense, I've never been a big fan of zone. I like to see guys play more press coverage, more bump and run, man to man. Like a Chargers defense plays. I'm not against the hire, because you got to hire somebody. I'm just like, I'm in wait and see mode, and we'll talk about him from now until the season starts, as well as everything else going on with this team. But I'm very down the middle right now on this hire until I see what he does implement it. Because from what you're telling me, another defensive coordinator with a philosophy, not a scheme. I don't want to see a lot of zone. I don't want to see my DBs playing 5 to 7 yards consistently off of receivers. I've seen enough of that.
Let me give you a quote from Vic Fangio when he was asked when he got, and this is from Ruben Frank's story, NBC Sports Philadelphia. I want to give Ruben credit for this. But when Fangio was hired in in Miami, this is what he had to say regarding blitzing. Okay. Quote, If you have to, that's not a great feeling. You want to do it when you want to on your own terms. Look, I agree with that, man. If you're blitzing all the time, you got nothing. You're desperate.
I didn't say all the time.
No, but I'm not. I know you're not saying that.
Yeah.
Derek. I'm saying like for people who want him, for one a coordinator blitzing all the time, you better have unbelievable coverage men first of all, and there is a lot of risk to it. But Barrett, I'm curious where you're at with this.
I'm trying to, because I want to explain. I want to really explain what what's going to happen. Kind of like what you see in Pittsburgh right now. And to me, Pittsburgh is a pretty good defense. But the basis of when you have a 3-4 defense, and why they say it's it looks like they're blitzing a lot, but they're not. They're always sending 4 guys to the quarterback. They're always rushing 4 guys. But the way conceptually how you got to look at it is on the 3-4 system, you got a guy that's head up on the nose, head up on the center, the nose guard. Then on the outside on the tackles, you have defensive ends. And if you already know this on the stream, I'm just for people that may not know what 3-4 is and why you think why bringing pressure doesn't always look like blitzing and pressure. It may look like it, but it's not. You got 2 guys head up that are defensive ends on the tackles, line up, head up on the tackles. And then you had defensive linebackers on the outside of them. One may be over a tight end, one may be over an overhang or nobody over him. Now, what makes that defense look like it's blitzing, they're only going to bring 4. So when they say bring 4, it might be both defensive ends, the nose, and an outside defensive linebacker. They'll bring them and drop the other linebacker on the opposite side. Or they might bring the nose, bring the Mike linebacker, bring a defensive end, and bring the other defensive end. They're only sending 4, but it looks like a blitz because the linebacker came. So it's not going to look like to the offensive line, it looks like a blitz to us. Mm-hmm. So that's where you get a lot of the confusion, because when you have that, the defense being even meaning you have guys over the tackles, 1 guy over the nose, 2 linebackers that are lined up at linebacker depth over the guards, and 2 outside linebackers. So to us, it looks like it's the same, but they're bringing 4 guys from different places. So that's why it looks like a blitz. That's what's confusing to an offensive line, because you don't know who's going to come and where they're coming from. So that's why it looks like a blitz, but it's not necessarily a blitz. They're only bringing 4, but it's confusing on what 4 they're going to bring.
Yeah, I like that's what I like.
That's what it is.
I like the Desai, and Gannon was the same way. It's hard to game plan for that. It's not, and I get it. It's not the blitz that everybody wants, but it's like it's a tough. You can't just say this is what they're doing. They don't do one certain thing. They're like an immediate.
That's it right there, Rob. That's it right there, because you don't know where they're coming from, where these 4 are coming from, and when they do bring a 5th guy, it usually hits home because you're not accounting for that guy, because you see these different ways they're coming. That's why they call it a zone blitz as opposed to a blitz, because they're blitzing people. They're bringing people from different parts of that box. And it's confusing as hell to an offensive line, because they can bring the 7 guys,
right,
and you don't know which one is coming because it's even. You look at the defense, it's even. So all these guys can come. All of them can come. You just don't know who's coming. And it messes up the number count, not just for the offensive line, but the tight end has to know where he has to go. The running back has to know. The quarterback has to know where he's coming from. So that's what makes a 3-4 so hard to pick up, and zone blitzing so hard to account for who's coming.
Okay, I will say a contrast to that is let's look at Kansas City's defense. Now, they were a blitz defense. Spagnuolo let you know he was coming at you all day. Yep. And he did it with a bunch of kids.
Yep.
Okay. And he didn't back off one from start to finish. They did not back off. It was predicated on, we don't want to get the sack. We want to make a quarterback do something he doesn't want to do in a hurry. If you look at the sack total, I think it was like 50 something maybe. Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, his concept worked as well. I'm not saying I want a defensive coordinator who will blitz all day, but I'm saying the way he strategically blitzed all season long, and look at the wealth of quarterbacks his defense faced all year, and his formula worked as well. Mm-hmm. You know, Fangio is a good coordinator. He got fired in Denver. Why did he get fired in Denver? Okay. We have to ask that question. Don't know.
Well,
We have to ask the people that, number one. Number two, Spagnola's concept worked for him. And I can't get over the fact he did it with a bunch of kids. He put a bunch of kids in strenuous situations from start to finish. He said, look, you're going to get beat, but we got to keep doing what we do. And he did. They won 14 regular season games. They won 20 games on the season and hoisted that trophy, doing it that way. That defensive personnel was nowhere near close to what the Eagles had.
Well,
but he stuck to his guns.
Well, absolutely. You're right about that. But one thing you must have are some boss linebackers.
Yes.
When you're running this, you got to have boss linebackers. See, you can run those type of sets when you have boss linebackers. What got Arizona. Arizona had the blitz because they didn't have the personnel really to run that system. They didn't have a boss nose guard, even though they had, J.J. Watt and that other kid on the other side. You need a nose guard in the middle of that defense that can control that defense, whether it's passing and collapsing the pocket by himself or holding up the run. I had Casey Hampton there. You know what I'm saying? You look at Ray Lewis. He had Goose sitting right there or Sam Adams sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have a boss nose tackle who can control the middle of that defense. I think the Eagles do have a boss guy. He's got to grow into being a boss guy. He's got to grow into being a stud in the middle because you got to be a stud, one stud guy in the middle. That's why Hargraves got paid because he was a stud in the middle of that defense. He played nose. You have to be a stud when you're in there because you have to control both A-gap by yourself and control the center. You're getting double teamed every play because there's nobody that they have to go off on. Both guards are free, so they can double team you whenever they need to. Mm-hmm. You got to have a stud in the middle of that defense. Let me say it one more time, people. If Davis does not become a stud, we will get our ass kicked all year long in the middle of that defense because there's nobody that can get up on those. If you're not a stud there, they don't concentrate on you. They can get up on those linebackers and blow them out.
Can Milton Williams be that?
Milton.
Okay.
No,
so you have a
defensive end. He's a defensive end. He's going to be over the. You're going to have guys like you're going to have Milton Williams over a tackle. You're going to have guys like Sweat over a tackle, Barnett over a tackle. They're going to be like an Aaron Smith type of players. They've got to be good too. They got to be studs. But I mean, I see Hassan Reddick as being a Suggs. I see Hassan Reddick as being a TJ Watt. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna bode well for him. He's gonna have more sacks than he had this year. More sacks than he had this year. But Karan Johnson and Patrick Johnson, they got to come out of their shield. They got to be able to ball on the outside also. Derek Barnett's gonna have to be ball on the outside. So this is a system that is tough to run if you don't have a really, really good nose guard. We got to have a guy that's going to go out there. I think we have that. We have it in Wilson. I think Wilson can do it. And Tuipulotu, it's got to be a stud also.
So that leads Barrett very well into something that a story that just has blown up today in regards to the draft. Jalen Carter, who was Jordan Davis's teammate a couple years back at Georgia, and a guy who was considered by some to be the number one overall pick, that talented. There's a lot going on right now with Jalen Carter. So if you're not familiar with the story, sadly, there was a Georgia player and a member of the staff who passed away in a car accident back in January. Okay, terrible story. Right by campus.
January.
It was this past, two months ago.
Okay.
January 15th. Okay. In fact, the staffer was a young lady named Chandler LaCroix, who passed away, and Devin Willock, it was one of his teammates who passed away as well. Now, the initial story was the young lady who was driving too fast, lost control of the car. It was a one-car accident, and that's why they passed away. Okay, reckless driving and all that kind of stuff. But there has been an arrest warrant obtained by the Associated Press, which alleges that Jalen Carter was racing with that car that crashed the night of the crash. He was racing his Jeep Trackhawk with them, and that's how the crash occurred. Carter was questioned about that night, and said that he was, way behind and it wasn't right there with them, came up on it and all this other stuff. So he's about to be taken in on this thing. He's going to be charged with reckless driving and racing in connection with the crash that killed the staff members. Now, I don't know how all this plays out. I know there's they're both misdemeanors, the charges here. And I'm not trying to be cold here because you're talking about two people who lost their lives, but there is an impact here on the draft where Jalen Carter may fall, and the Eagles who are sitting there at 10, he may be there, and there might be a question of, do you take him with some of this baggage? Again, I am not in any way, shape, or form trying to just minimize what the real important thing is, that two people lost their lives. Okay. I'm just telling you from a football perspective, you can sort of look at this from an Eagle standpoint.
Well, he was supposed to sit down and meet with team representatives at 10:30 this morning, and all of a sudden that was put on the kibosh, understandably so. Right. If I read the report correctly, initially he told police officers he heard a crash from a apartment or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that part of it.
Yeah, okay. He heard it from, and then when they pressed him further, he said, "Yeah, well, I was driving in a car alongside of them." So, first of all, why would you lie like that, dude? This is your career we're talking about here.
That's why he lied.
Yeah, and Derek, a little bit further on that, the evidence, according to the details of this thing that was obtained, demonstrated that both vehicles switched lanes, drove in the center lane, drove opposite lanes to travel, overtook motorists, drove at high rates of speed in an apparent attempt to outdistance one another. So it sounds like they weren't on some quiet road by themselves. Not that even makes it good, but they were swerving in and out of traffic.
They were in downtown Athens,
which could have killed however many people. You know what I mean? Right. They weren't on some deserted, some road in some middle of town of nowhere. This is right where the campus is. The campus is in Athens. It's not good.
It reminds me a lot of a situation down in Florida that happened before my time with the Eagles with a great player in Jerome Brown.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And he had his nephew in the car with him.
He did. And it was a rainy day. I did a whole story on this for NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Had a brand new Corvette. Just got a brand new Corvette.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Incredibly sad.
I had to go down to his hometown when I was at NBC and with a producer, Mark Jordan, and we did a story. We walked the actual crash site where it happened. We talked to family members, and I'm like, I just had an eerie feeling about doing that story. I'm thinking, man, and it was like a little ridge that he went over. I'm thinking he was on the road by himself basically, but I'm thinking, why?
Well, no, the nephew was in the car.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm saying it was not like it was a busy road. It was like a back road, Yeah. And I'm thinking, why?
Sad.
Why?
First of all, a Trackhawk is I mean that's
what is that, Barry? Is that like a souped up?
It's a Jeep with a Hellcat engine in it. Hellcat is Dodge's one of their probably their second fastest engine that they make, that Dodge makes. So Dodge makes the Hemi. It's probably their second fastest engine that they make. The Elephant is the number one engine, the fastest engine they make. And then you got the Dodge, Demon, and all those stuff. So the Hellcat engine is a beast. I got one in my I have a Dodge Magnum that I have it in. So it can rip things apart. It's a very fast Jeep. It's a small Jeep. It's it's a Cherokee with a souped up race car engine in it.
Okay. I didn't. Yeah, that's good. That's good information. It's good information to know what's going on here. And the car that crashed, the estimate speeds of 104 miles an hour. So, whatever.
In town.
Yeah. So I don't know where this ends up. I don't know what happens here. I don't know how it impacts, where Jalen ends up. But you could have some teams that didn't think they would have a decision to make on him. And I'm not even talking about what he does on the field, but just character-wise, they're going to have to make a decision, and that includes the Eagles.
Well, let me put things in perspective. My draft, I was projected to go mid to late first round. But my draft got all mixed and messed up because it's the Warren Sapp draft.
Right.
And I can remember we had it was 12 guys that were supposed to go way ahead of, of me that dropped. And when they dropped, that made me drop because everybody tested positive for weed.
Okay.
And I can remember, when we first checked in, that a bunch of guys were in because they thought we had tested before we went to the combine.
Okay.
We had tested, for whatever. So, he had to, piss in the cup, everything, yada, yada, yada. Got there, and we ended up having to test again. And 12 guys got popped for weed.
So in other words, they knew they had to be clean before the draft because they were going to get tested. Then they thought we're good. They got tested,
right, and smoked up,
and boom,
and got popped because they went and smoked before they got tested again.
Okay,
so that's why Sapp was supposed to be a top 5 pick. He was that dominant. He was unbelievable. Yep. So I mean, just Mamula got drafted one or two spots before.
Mamula was before Sapp. Yeah, for sure. Yep.
And Mamula's one of the first guys to test, to go out there and just train specifically for the combine test, the 40-yard dash, the high jump, the broad jump, the drills. He started that. You know what I'm saying? His numbers were off the chart because he went out prepared for it. Me, I was just preparing for a 40-yard dash. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Barrett. Mamula went, I think, 13th, 12th. I think he went 12th or 13th, 12th, I think. So everybody got moved down, and guys that were supposed to be drafted got drafted.
Sapp 12, Mamula 7.
See, yeah. So I mean, I knew it was around there. So his combine numbers got him drafted. Sapp's performance got him drafted still in the first round. He dropped 12 spots.
Wow.
Because of that.
You went 49th overall for people who were wondering.
Yeah, I'm in the second round.
Second round. Yep.
So crazy. Well, actually 58. I went 58.
Was it 58?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know better than I do. Yeah, I'm sorry, 58. Why did I say 49? Yeah, there you go. Barrett Robbins went 49, the center, who ended up having some issues in the Super Bowl. But yeah.
Right.
Wow, Cordell Stewart went 2 picks after you.
Yep. So, and then Bobby Taylor was the first. He was like the first or second pick in the second round too, wasn't
Bobby?
He?
Yep. He was a high second round pick.
Yeah. Me and him went in the second round.
Yep.
Then Chris T. Jones went after me, and then
Bobby Taylor was 50th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a little farther down.
Yeah. So that was it. Yeah. I don't. So and again, I don't know. I'm sure more details will come out on this, and
it's a shame, man. It's a shame.
Awful. It's an awful story. You know what I mean? It's just an awful. 2 young people passed. It's just awful. Man, you hate hearing this kind of stuff. But
I mean, I don't think it necessarily has anything like manslaughter or anything like that. It'll probably just be reckless driving, something like that. 2
misdemeanors right now with what.
Yeah.
But teams like the Eagles that take so much pride in character. See?
That's what I was trying to get to.
Character.
Do you draft in spite of character?
Because he flat out lied initially, and then when all the footage of all the cameras, don't people understand there's cameras everywhere now? There's camera everywhere you go.
Yeah. It's always a camera phone, a camera, a ring, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? A street light. I mean, you can't get away with anything. You can't get away with blowing your nose without somebody seeing it.
He's projected, guys. I'm looking at one of the mock drafts from CBS Sports that I'm looking at. He was
number
projected,
1 pick.
Well, yeah, or 3rd.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They had him go to the Cardinals. Is what they had him. But yeah, listen. I hear you.
G Meta. Say accountability, character. That means a lot in this organization. They will just assume not draft a guy because of character flaws than bring a guy into the fold.
Yeah,
and that's the gold standard that the owner. That's what the owner prides himself in. He prides himself in being the gold standard of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like look at me, the way he handled Malcolm and the whole situation with him. How he allowed him to use the Eagles platform the way he did. There have been countless things where that this whole organization as a whole have been in the forefront of helping players be who they are, and voice their opinions in certain ways. So Mr. Lurie, he's a stand-up guy. Would he draft that guy? If I was the GM, I ain't gonna lie. I just got to watch a film on him. I like I said, I just got the hookup now. I can watch all the film I want to watch on guys. I just looked at him. Jalen, what? Beast. And we're talking misdemeanors versus getting a guy that's going to be a bona fide star.
Keep in mind, we still have until when's the draft? April, whatever it is. It was
Late
still
April.
month and change.
Vlad, what you trying to make me do, man? Come on,
to have
man.
more come out, and find out.
Right.
We'll have a better idea if there's how much more. But he's considered by many the biggest lock. Like there's question marks with a lot of other guys who have a high ceiling. Bryce Young, people worried about his size, Stroud, whatever. They say that this guy's the most pro-ready to come in and dominate.
He can come in right now, right now.
Cal Bundy brought up a point in our chat that I was going to mention a few moments ago about, as much as the Eagles want high character, they did give Michael Vick a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I'm saying, a second chance.
Yeah.
But you need to be convinced that this guy's, of his word.
Rehabilitated. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I mean, look at what happened with Henry Ruggs. Look at it. Look what happened with him in a car crash. Cost him his career. As talented as he is, look at how many players we see that have had multiple drug issues, domestic violence issues, and teams out there will give them second and third chances. Henry Ruggs was a phenomenal talent. Do you see anybody knocking at his door yet? I mean,
he's still in
jail.
I know, but I'm saying, there are a lot of teams that don't want that kind of attention.
Yeah.
Well, look at Doug right now. Doug right now is dealing with the receiver from Atlanta and trying to make sure he clears.
Calvin Ridley.
He clears and he gets reinstated back into the NFL. He's going to take a chance on him.
Yeah.
I mean, you want a second chance. You want a guy, that do it. I can see, and it pains me. It's going to stick me right in the gut that what's going to happen. That kid's going to go to Dallas. And it's going to piss me off that we got to play him twice a year.
That's him and Michael Parsons.
Would piss me off. You know what I'm saying? That would happen. But they don't care about character in Dallas.
Yeah.
So they would do that.
Oh,
they would
in
do
a second.
That.
In a second, Jerry would draft him. In a second.
No question.
Wouldn't even be a thought. Yeah. No, it happens every year, guys. We see it. To me, there's some little things like some dude who's in a gas mask smoking weed. I could care less. There's stuff like that they try to
balling right now with the Texans.
Right. And then there's other things. This is obviously a much different story than that, but it happens every year. And by the way, something else is going to come down the line. Something else is going to happen draft night. People looking to hurt other people. I'm not saying this is that situation, but there are agents and organizations that have agendas and family members, sadly, that have agendas.
Hey, Barry, the good thing is for you is Dallas picks 27. So even if this kid drops, I don't think there's anybody who will let him slide to 27.
No. And Chris D, you make a point. You know what I'm saying? But the locker room, it would be affected, and she's not willing to pay that price. I feel you. But there are teams like Dallas who wouldn't care. They wouldn't care, at all about
look
that.
Look at how many shady characters they've brought in as free agents, draft picks. They don't care.
Nope.
Yep, absolutely.
It means something in our locker room, and I like the fact that it means something in the Eagles locker room to have high character. The fact, hell, they went with a $34 million cap casualty to get a bad seed out of their locker room.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Yes,
Carson Wentz. Yep.
That's crazy. That's the first time ever $34 million is sitting there in dead money. Oof. That a player's not even in the locker room.
Woo, man.
Yep. Right.
Mr. Rudy Poo brought up a good point too. Hey, Raiders are taking with the 7th pick. The Raiders historically are known for bringing in thugs, man. I'm telling you, man.
Yep. All right, let's step aside for a minute here, and we'll continue with the Eagles discussion and a little bit more NFL as well. A couple things. The Eagles are pushing for two things. Rule changes wise. So we'll get into that. And then there's a lot of stuff happening around the NFL, as you could imagine, this time of year at the Combine. So don't go anywhere. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis, Sports Take JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Let's hit that like button. All right, let's talk about Pro Action Restoration. Yes, Pro Action Restoration. If you have a home, you have a business, and you've experienced the unfortunate issue of fire, smoke, mold damage, you name it, they can handle it. Pro Action Restoration is on call 24 hours, 7 days a week to assist. I know I personally gone through it. It was water damage in my case at my parents' house. I called them on a Saturday. They got right over there. The crew was amazing. They were professional, clean. The price was reasonable. Pro Action Restoration is licensed, bonded, and fully insured, and they've been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades, and they will work in conjunction with your insurance company as well. Again, it could be water, it could be fire, it could be smoke, could be mold remediation. You name it, they can handle it. Give them a call, 610-623-3760, 610-623-3760, or online at proactionrestoration.com. That's proactionrestoration.com.
When it comes to the fight against insurance companies, large corporations, and the healthcare industry, injured victims are always the underdog. But that doesn't worry us. At Messa & Associates, we're an injury law firm from Philadelphia, and we come to fight. Our clients know that they've got representation with a chip on its shoulder, and it's the same chip that makes Philly the toughest city in the country. Call 215-568-3500 or visit us online at messalaw.com. Messa & Associates, the toughest injury firm in Philadelphia.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer 3 major services, the first one being basement waterproofing, the second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs, and then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Jeff D'Ambrosio doesn't need a special event to appreciate his customers. Jeff shows his appreciation to them every day of the year. Jeff makes sure to stock more new inventory than anyone and guarantees prices and payments that nobody can beat. There are so many reasons that thousands of customers know Jeff is the easy, friendly place to do business. More for their trades, no judgment zone for credit issues, the best, most reliable service department in the country. That's why I like Jeff, and I know you will too. Jeff will satisfy you every day. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Owner Appreciation Event.
We all know that taxes are just part of life. It's true during our working years, but also in retirement. But what you might not know is up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxed. Our team at Thrive Financial has helped retire thousands of people across the Delaware Valley by asking questions they never knew they needed to ask, including how their Social Security benefits might be taxed. It's time to be proactive on taxes. Get your Thrive Retirement Tax Playbook today.
Plan your day with confidence.
Keep the umbrellas on hand.
With Action News and AccuWeather.
Numerous tornadoes.
Your go-to team when severe weather strikes.
The water is still rising.
Keeping you prepared wherever you watch. Action News and AccuWeather, the team you trust.
We're back. Yes, we are. We're Sports Take. JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. That's Derek Gunn. That's Barrett Brooks. I'm Rob Ellis hanging out with you on this Wednesday, first day of March. All right, so a couple things, guys. Also coming from the Combine. No surprise here. The Eagles are pushing to keep Wrong word. Eagles are defending the tush push. I don't want to say they're pushing to keep the tush push.
Thank you.
Push push. I don't really love the name. I'll be honest with you, but it is what it is. They're pushing to keep that in as a legal play. The NFL has not come out with any kind of explanation as to why it is not legal. In fact, Nick talked about it yesterday and said, look, we've seen it happen before. They took something away from the Patriots before. They've taken things away from other teams that have been highly successful. We know they're considering this with the tush push play, but any team can run it. We just seem to happen to have a great deal of success. So they're pushing for that. And they're also pushing to get the number 0 as a legal number for players to wear. You see it in the NBA, you see it in other sports. College football. Exactly, Barrett. Yeah. But it's not, I guess right now it's not a legal number in the NFL. The NFL lightened the sort of numbers restrictions. If you remember a couple of years back, it used to be receivers need to be in the 80s and, this position needs to be that. Now corners, Slay wears number 2, just for example, Zach Pascal wears number 3 and plays receiver. There's no restrictions on certain numbers. Only offensive linemen, I think, and D linemen have to adhere to that kind of stuff anymore. But anyway, so they're the two things. They're trying to keep one in and requesting that the number 0 be brought in. I don't really care about the number 0 thing. But I think the tush push thing needs to stay.
Well, don't be mad at us because our quarterback squats 600 pounds.
Yep.
Don't be mad because he squats more than our starting center, who's a Pro Bowler, All-Pro, future Hall of Famer. Don't be mad because we've got a right side that weighs over 750 pounds pushing from that side. Don't be mad. You know what I'm saying? You got to get up. Get your weight up. You know what I'm saying? We want to keep our tactical advantage going forward. So, man, come on, man. Chill with that. Chill with that. I know it's all kind of defensive coordinators mad because of that rule. Get out of here, man. Yeah. Get out of here.
And don't be surprised when they eliminate it.
I know, man. It's pissing me off, too. Pissing me off.
Man, everything's ticking you off today.
Yeah, man, there's so much right now that's going on, man. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. This. I need to go fishing. That's what it is.
You need to be in a happy place like D-Gun. Even angry D-Gun's in a happy place.
Always. See? I gotta stay on my edge now that you're back. I gotta stay on my edge now because you're liable to do something crazy.
Well, you and Rob brought me to this point. So
Chris D, don't let him do that. Chris D, don't let him do that.
What?
Be mean.
I'm not. I would not consider myself mean. I would just say direct and unpredictable.
Oh my God.
Yes, I need a White Castle's quick.
Who doesn't?
So you need to go to White Castles and go fishing. Is that what you need?
Well, no, actually, my daughter was up in with one of our clients up North Jersey, and I gave her money. I cash after money, and she brought back 20 surf and turf burgers.
Oh God, when was this?
20 yesterday.
20 White Castle surf and turf.
Yes.
What is surf? What is it? Is that fake fish? What is that?
Stop, Derek. It's beef. It's a hamburger. It's a slider, a regular slider with it's a double cheeseburger slider with also one more layer that has chicken. It has a fish on it. It has fish on it.
Okay.
That's why I call it surf and turf. Just like at a fine restaurant, surf and turf, you get a steak and a lobster. Well, the surf and turf for White Castles is a double cheeseburger and then add a piece of fish and then a bun under it. And it's a surf and turf about that big.
Time out. So time out. So
I'll show you one. In fact, when the next break, I'm gonna go get one. I'm gonna warm it up and then I'll
okay. I like this.
Tell me it's 2 questionable beef patties coupled with questionable real fish on a bun.
There's nothing questionable about it. Hold on. Let me call.
It's like I equate it to maybe that old restaurant. I think they went out of business. Remember Long John Silver's when you bite into the fish sandwich, you just run down.
I remember that. I remember that, man. I remember that.
That is so skeevy, man. Oh, God.
Oh, M. Reyes, somebody digging. He's a mean man. You don't know
You
me, bro. You don't know me.
Dan
Why?
says
Because
that Paris the Anthony Bourdain of White Castle.
Right.
All right, so a couple other
That's
things
nasty.
here.
I'm about to
I
throw
know,
up,
I
man.
hear you, man. NFL wise, so the Bengals are not trading, according to Duke Tobin, their player personnel guy. They are not trading T. Higgins. There had been some thought he's entering the last year of his deal. They haven't gotten a deal done with him yet, and he said, "Go find your own receivers." Basically, he's too good. We're not trading him. Believe it if you want, but he was pretty public with it. Didn't duck it.
Well, I mean, they pretty much stand by what they think in their philosophy. I mean, they still haven't signed Bates back. Bates is a free agent now.
And yeah, you're right. You're right, Barry. And they got some tough. They got this heavy contracts coming with Burrow and Chase and some of these other guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, in thinking about that, we're talking about Jalen. Jalen's the only all pro out of the 5 receivers that got drafted in his draft class.
Quarterback.
Well, he's the 5th one. Yeah, he's the 5th. He's the 5th quarterback that was drafted in that draft class. And right now, he's the one that's made it the farthest. He made it to the Super Bowl, and he's a All-Pro and Pro Bowler. Burrows is a Pro Bowler, but he wasn't All-Pro.
Yeah, but Burrow made it to a Super Bowl.
Well, yeah, second.
Yeah,
And he's got the option year because he was a first rounder. Jalen wasn't.
Right. So they're gonna hit that.
Just
option.
keep that part in mind. I know because people sometimes say, "Well, they're the same year." Well, they are, but it's the contracts are different because.
Well, who all went in that draft?
It was the 21 draft, right?
I think so. Let me
1,
see.
2, 3. Yes, 21, the second-year starter. No, the 20 draft. If this was Jalen's 3rd year with the Eagles, 22, it had to be the 20 draft.
All right,
Yeah.
here it is. I got it. Burrow 1, Chase Young 2, Jeff Okudah 3, Andrew Thomas 4, Tua 5, Herbert 6.
Who?
Tua 5, Justin Herbert 6. Yeah. I won't read through every name here, but wow, Henry Ruggs went 12.
Wow. So Tua went 5.
And 21st was Jalen Reagor, just to injure people there for a little bit for a second, and Justin Jefferson went 22nd.
You had great pride in that, didn't you?
It wasn't right. T. Higgins was the first pick in the 2nd round.
Right.
Yeah. So
Jordan Love was in that draft.
Yes, Jordan Love went 26th overall.
Yep. Wow, 26th overall. So that's
Jalen was 53rd overall.
Dang. Jalen, I mean, so he is the 5th quarterback in that draft. He's the only one right now that's been all pro. His numbers are amazing. He's balled out. I mean, at the end of the day, I like our chances. Even with Justin Herbert there and Joe Burrow there, you know what I'm saying? I like what I have with my quarterback.
The fact that somebody put Tua that high up on the pedestal still shocks me. He's a good athlete, but would you say he went 5th or 6th?
5th.
Yeah, he was 5.
Jeez.
Yeah, you top 10. I'll give you the 10. Burrow, Young, Okudah, Andrew Thomas, Tua, Justin Herbert, Derek Brown, Isaiah Simmons, C.J. Henderson, Jedrick Wills, Mekhi Becton. Actually, I took you down to 11. Mekhi Becton was 11th. They were your top 10. There's some good players later in there. Brandon Ayuk went 25. Jordan Love went 26th.
Tristan Wirfs is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb has been balling. And I remember I wanted him too. I wanted to draft him.
Yeah, he went 17th. Yep.
Yeah,
there's good second rounders too.
And who do we pick?
Jalen Reagor. Listen to the second round. T. Higgins, Michael Pittman, who's it's just a shame he hasn't
balling for the Colts. Yep.
DeAndre Swift,
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, he was the last of the first round. Yeah, KJ Hamler went in the second round if he could stay healthy.
Wow.
Antoine Winfield,
Jonathan Taylor. Dang.
Yep.
Taylor. Trayvon Diggs went 51. Cam Akers 52, and then Jalen Hurts. Van Jefferson went 57. AJ Dillon went 62.
Wow.
Anyway, there's some second rounders, man.
Oh, you're right, man. You're right. I mean, and I can't believe it, bro. I just can't believe that, man. I mean, looking at it in that second round was pretty good.
It was.
I mean, even Grant Delpit he's balling in Cleveland right now.
Yeah, no question. All right, let me hit some other things here. Derek Carr will meet with the Jets and the Jets owner today. He met with the Saints and the Panthers yesterday. Now, he's met with all these teams before, but he's meeting with them again in Indianapolis. So it feels like that's going to be close. At some point, we're going to hear something on that, where he ends up going. You would think that they get pretty close on that one. Seattle owns the number 5 and the number 20, and they're not really ducking from the fact that they may take a quarterback at 5, which I think is smart, actually, on their part.
I do too, because while Geno had a phenomenal year, his history has shown that he has not been able to put up those kind of numbers consistently. And you look at his age, where he is now, and even if he gets a nice, let's say, 2-year extension, you still got to prepare for the future. Why not have that guy in the fold already? If this is that heavy of a quarterback class as people keep alluding to, why not have your future quarterback gradually tutoring under somebody who's already there? You'll be 2 years into the system when you take over, maybe a year into the system, depending on how they structure this deal with Geno.
Yeah.
You got to grab it while you can, because
amen.
Every year is not a quarterback heavy draft, as we found out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you draft a second rounder at the quarterback position, or even a third rounder if you're the Eagles?
Depends on who slipped. Oh, the Eagles. Oh,
boy. I don't think you can do it with your first 3.
No, because of the limited amount of picks. And I would imagine they have 6 now. I'd be shocked if Howie doesn't have at least 9 picks in this draft.
They're going to fill in the middle there. They're going to get the 4th rounders and the 5th rounders in there.
And Wentz said the same thing.
Yeah, true. I think Mariota might be in play.
That's a good possibility, because you can get him dirt cheap now.
Yeah.
He's not going to be commanding that big money.
And let me give you this. I just came across the Jalen Carter has put out a statement. He said, quote, "This morning I received a telephone call from the Athens, Georgia Police Department informing me that 2 misdemeanor warrants have been issued against me for reckless driving and racing. Numerous media reports have also circulated this morning containing inaccurate information concerning the tragic events of January 15th, 2023. It is my intention to return to Athens to answer the misdemeanor charges against me and make certain that the complete and accurate truth is presented. There is no question in my mind that when all of the facts are known, I will be fully exonerated of any criminal doing." There you go.
Okay.
So in fairness, we always try and give you everything here that's going on. That's Jalen's side of it. Then that's fair. He's got every right to defend himself. So
which is a real side. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? I mean, it's we don't know. You know what I'm saying? I've seen guys get railroaded to stuff they didn't do.
Yep.
So I mean, this is what comes. With great power comes great responsibility, and you gotta keep your nose clean, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep your nose clean.
No doubt. And look, we're like I said, I think we'll know. We won't know everything, but we're going to know more between the next month and a half.
Coach Terrence and Gigi Meta, man, he's still lying. That's lawyers talking.
Well, whatever. all I know is that's coming from the horse's mouth. Okay, that's what he had to say.
That's coming from his attorney. I don't think he wrote that.
Well,
his attorney put that together.
His people put that out.
No. That's not his own words. Yeah. But I'm telling you, man,
tough.
No. Our stream, bro, they keep it real, man.
You better be wearing a vest,
right.
All right,
that's why I embraced everybody.
The Dolphins have not decided yet what they're going to do with Tua. He was a first rounder that year, so they haven't decided whether to pick up his 5th-year option. Doesn't this feel like to you guys with him? This is total wait and see this year. Like if he can't stay on the field, and God forbid, we're talking about head injuries here. This is serious stuff here. But if he gets another concussion or whatever, if I'm the Dolphins, I'm cutting bait. No pun intended here. I mean, honestly, I am. I'm moving on after this year.
I would believe they're seriously looking at the quarterback market right now in terms of who are free agents. And I'm not saying they're going to go after Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo, but I would think they would try to pick off a guy who's been around the block for a few times. Another Teddy Bridgewater. Let's put it like that. I think they're looking at another Teddy Bridgewater as an insurance policy to hit the ground running. because if they're still non-committal at this point, how severe are those head injuries? I mean,
I know.
To be honest with you, I haven't seen anything like this. He's had 3 in one season, and they shut him down for like the last month of the season. He didn't clear concussion protocol by the organization standards until the regular season was over. Okay. So how severe are they based on the battery of tests that he's taking, continuous battery test he's taking to find out where he is? There's a lot that's not being said.
Agreed.
The fact, you know what they always say? If you're not telling us something, there must be a whole lot behind what you're not telling us.
Yeah, man.
Yep. Where you get that from? I like that.
I just made that up. Hell, let me write
very,
that down.
very profound.
Yeah, I'm serious. I just made that. Hold up.
You're like a philosopher, Gunner.
Yeah, let me put this down.
Yes.
Yes.
I think very deeply.
Yes.
Y'all know about that.
We knew he could think deeply.
All right, so that's interesting. Apparently, I don't know if I buy this either, but the Titans implying that Tannehill will be back as their quarterback.
I'll buy that one. I'll buy that one.
Say it again.
Tannehill will be back.
I'll buy that one.
I'm not buying that for $1. I'm not.
You don't think so?
No.
I'll buy that one.
It's a big cap hit, so maybe that.
Well, only thing was because I think they want to cut bait. They're not going to go on with the young boy. I think they're going to try to get a quarterback.
I think they realize they may have made a mistake with young.
They're afraid of Willis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think they're going to try to go up and get somebody from out of free agency.
That dude's like a jackrabbit. As soon as you say hike, man, he's running all over the field.
He started. What's his name? Dobson, right? Josh Dobbs.
Joshua Dobbs.
Yeah.
Who was on the street 3 weeks before?
Yeah, it's no, Malik. Hey man, just hold the clipboard. We'll get back to you.
Yeah,
bruh, come on. And Joshua Dobbs bald.
He did fine.
Wasn't he? He's a rocket scientist.
He is. He'll be okay.
For real rocket scientist.
He'll be okay after football if he'll find a job.
Right.
Yeah. So that's interesting whether you want to believe it or not. All right. So a couple other things NFL wise. I cautioned I don't even like bringing this up. I'll be honest with you. I'm so done with it. Aaron Rodgers has not made a decision yet, according to Aaron Rodgers.
You like to just like to get mad, don't you?
I honestly, I can't take it. I want him to go away and get out of my life. Go away, Aaron Rodgers.
Well, I'm not trying to hold people up, and I will now that my head is clear that I've had this Amazon peyote in my system for 48 hours. I see things more clearly now. I'm not going to hold them up. And what was the other comment? I look forward to the conversations I'm going to have soon with the Packers organization. I think it will come from a very positive place. And for those of you who think I'm a diva and all this stuff, well, you can just tune it out. That's what he said, basically.
Please.
So let's begin. What, where, why, or when?
Yeah.
It'll all be explained like that's Boogie Down Productions right there. If y'all don't know.
Yeah.
That's Boogie Down Productions.
This
one or that one.
This one, Austin Blythe. And Gunnar, I know you sent this to us yesterday.
Yeah.
Center, he bounced around a little bit in his career. Seattle, Indianapolis, and the Rams, I believe he's played for. Had a solid career.
Yeah.
He's had a very solid career. He was ranked pretty decently last year in terms of centers, and he got a lot out of he's a smaller guy. I don't think he's even 300 pounds. Props to him. He's overachieved a lot in his career, but he could have gotten a really nice contract. And he elected to step away. This is a trend that we've seen. He played 7 years. He's 30 years old. It's a trend that we've seen here from a decent amount of guys. And now, you know what? If you feel like you're in decent enough shape financially, I don't blame them one bit.
Rob, I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. Just from what I'm going through and the experiences that I have right now, what I've done it before, do it again. What I've already done before, I'd still play.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, I went in on Monday, and I know that I'm a little slower than I was. A lot slower than I was, but I'm not near as slow or near as disabled as the guys I saw in that room.
Yeah. Yep.
It was heartbreaking, man, what I saw in that room. Yeah. And some of the stories, that I wasn't even talking about, not even talking about what I've experienced, you know, or them telling me their experiences, but what their wives were telling me.
Mhm.
You know, this one player, literally, he lives in Baltimore, but he went to school in high school in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Yep.
And he got up 2 weeks ago, drove all the way to Atlantic City to pick his kids up from school. His kids never went to that school, number one. His kids are grown and out the house, and he drove all to pick them up from grade school to a grade school he went to, not a grade school they went to.
God.
Can you imagine that, man? He has to wear a watch that they can
track
keep,
him.
Yeah, to keep tabs on where he is.
Yeah.
But some days he's just sharp as a tack.
Man.
But other days he just doesn't have it. So, bro, it's, I joke around with it because
you got
I joke around it, to keep some levity on the situation, but to keep you from crying about the situation.
Yep.
But it's just really tough, man. I gotta go tomorrow. I gotta go get MRIs done. Make sure I keep an accurate assessment on where I am.
Baseline, basically.
Yeah.
This is where I am now. This is where you check it in a year. Yeah.
Right. So I can check every single. You guys know went to the same thing last year. And year after year, you guys know me. You guys have worked. We have worked together for the last 8-9 years, and every year you see me do it. Every year around this time, I go through what I do.
Right. I hear you. It's scary stuff, man. That's for sure.
What's your excuse? You didn't play.
I'm sitting here minding my own business. See what I mean, Rob? Even when just when you think you're out,
you weren't doing anything that time.
Rob, just
that one's not on you, Gunner.
They pull you back in.
I know you didn't do anything. You were good.
Sorry. All right,
Barrett.
Good,
see,
now I was trying to be sensitive. We joke about
all
Barrett going through the seat. I mean, let's be serious here, because a lot of times we have people just jump on for the first time and don't know our history together.
Yeah.
And we joke with Barrett a lot about CTE because, by the grace of God, he is intact. Okay. Yeah. So we joke about it amongst us like family. It's not something we take lightly by any stretch of the imagination.
No, we don't.
But we can joke with Barrett because, thank God, and I'm serious, we take shots at each other, but seriously, and I've said this time and time again, the fact that you're all here, well, as far as you could be, the fact that you're all here mentally is a blessing.
Yeah.
And so, dude, I hope you live a long, happy, illustrious life. You never have to depend on anybody. You never. I mean, I look at CTE and what people go through with the memory losses and equate it to dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yep.
And I've known people that have gone through that and died from it. And the fact that when it gets to the final stages, your entire life is erased. You don't remember your kids. You don't remember special moments. You don't recognize your spouse, your grandchildren, and things like that. Man, that's a sad way to go out for anybody, And I just hope by the grace of God that I don't care if it's tomorrow or 30 years, 20 years from now, I just hope all my memories are intact of things that I've been able to do, people I've met. Like,
yes,
I can't believe I've said this. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. Even you two, people I've had the pleasure of meeting, like you two. But it's really it's a very serious thing. And I go back to when we first heard about CTE, and we're like, what is this? When they tried to shun the doctor in Pittsburgh who was trying to alarm everybody.
Well, you were up there then, weren't you?
Yes. Yeah, wow. But see, he wasn't a big story then because the NFL put a blanket over it. They kept putting a blanket over it. And every time he'd come out with a report, they would deny the reports, saying the reports are trumped up reports. And then all of a sudden, more doctors, even doctors, other medical officials and experts who were against him initially, saying that he's crying foul, all of a sudden, more began to jump on the bandwagon with him in terms of it is something of what he's saying. And now we're seeing what has happened. Former athletes have no memory. Former athletes that have taken their own lives. Former athletes that do volatile things without any memory of them happening and then snap out of it and don't remember what happened. That's it's a tough way to go. It is.
Bro, yeah, I knew something was happening towards the end of my career when they kept making us do sleep studies, they kept the like the memory test, and like they have a baseline test. And if you have a concussion, they give you a baseline test at the beginning of the season, and if they send you to this baseline test and you fail it, then you're out with the concussion. That's the way they measured it, and it wasn't until the end of my career. I was like in year 11 and 12 when they even started doing that, man. So this is something that they knew they messed up on. They should have had more of an accurate assessment on what guys have. Because I remember they used to tell me when I first started out, all right, how many fingers do I have up? Where are you at? How many fingers all right, take this icing ibuprofen and go. It used to be like that, but now, man, I'm glad they're aware of it now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said, Barrett. And keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. That's for sure. All right, let's sneak one in here, and we'll come back. And you guys aren't going to believe Andrew Painter went wild in the his first inning today. Like in terms of some serious gas being brought, like heat. My man who's bringing heat.
Well, I wouldn't know, Rob, because we couldn't.
If you lived in Minnesota, you could watch it, Derek.
Yeah,
Just saying.
We couldn't cancel the show, so we could watch. I don't know, Rob.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think we need to bring that to Tone. Tone, what do you say, Tone?
I blame that to Tone,
man.
Tone, it's too late now. He's done.
Peer pressure.
I blame poor Tone, man. Tone's just
Tone's just towing the company line, man.
He's a pawn right now. He's a pawn.
Well, I ain't gonna say pawn. Dang, you call him a pawn?
Yes, if he really had some gumption, he'd be like, guys, we should be watching the Phillies right now.
That's right. All I gotta do is turn the TV on over my shoulder right here. All I gotta do.
Yeah, you're not gonna be watching anything if you turn it on.
Good luck.
It ain't on.
Tone is retaliated. What did he say?
Yeah, let me see.
That's messed up, Barrett. Yeah, I agree, Tone. I agree, Tone. He said you were a pawn, man. He said you're a JAKIB Media pawn, dude. I would never let him forget it. Look at Rob, can we please go to break, please?
Please. Let's do some Phillies and let's do some Flyers. And then Mark Jackson from NBC Sports Philadelphia will be joining us at 2 to talk some Sixers. He's Derek. He's Barrett. I'm Rob. We are Sports Take JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Flynn Tree Services. Yes, Flynn Tree Services is what I want to tell you about right now, because they are an experienced, licensed, insured Pennsylvania tree services company that will trim or remove any unwanted trees off of your property. They offer cost-effective solutions to any tree problem that you may face, and they are experts at trimming all types of trees, and they serve southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, and northern Delaware. Flynn Tree Services specializes in tree removal, stump grinding, as well as tree pruning. You go to their Facebook or Instagram page for more information or a sampling of their work. Give Flynn Tree Services a call, 610-850-2848, 610-850-2848, or online at flynntreeservices.com. That's flynntreeservices.com.
When it comes to the fight against insurance companies, large corporations, and the healthcare industry, injured victims are always the underdog. But that doesn't worry us. At Messon Associates, we're an injury law firm from Philadelphia, and we come to fight. Our clients know that they've got representation with a chip on its shoulder, and it's the same chip that makes Philly the toughest city in the country. Call 215-568-3500 or visit us online at messalaw.com. Messon Associates, the toughest injury firm in Philadelphia.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer 3 major services, the first one being basement waterproofing, The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give JAKIB a call or check us out online.
Jeff D'Ambrosio doesn't need a special event to appreciate his customers. Jeff shows his appreciation to them every day of the year. Jeff makes sure to stock more new inventory than anyone and guarantees prices and payments that nobody can beat. There are so many reasons that thousands of customers know Jeff is the easy, friendly place to do business. More for their trades, no judgment zone for credit issues, the best, most reliable service department in the country. That's why I like Jeff, and I know you will too. Jeff will satisfy you every day. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Owner Appreciation Event.
We all know that taxes are just part of life. It's true during our working years, but also in retirement. But what you might not know is up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxed. Our team at Thrive Financial has helped retire thousands of people across the Delaware Valley by asking questions they never knew they needed to ask, including how their Social Security benefits might be taxed. It's time to be proactive on taxes. Get your Thrive Retirement Tax Playbook today.
Plan your day with confidence.
Keep the umbrellas on hand.
With Action News and AccuWeather.
Numerous tornadoes.
Your go-to team when severe weather strikes.
The water is still rising.
Keeping you prepared wherever you watch. Action News and AccuWeather, the team you trust.
Friends, welcome back. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are Sports Big. You all right, Barry? What's going on?
I'm not all right.
What happened?
It's nothing like going in and trying to fight. You can't even fight her because she's pregnant. My youngest daughter, I come downstairs and she's got my White Castles and she's eating them, and I can't take them from her because she's pregnant.
Jeez. Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you that's a no-win for you, man.
So what am I supposed to do?
Nothing. Let it go.
Dad, I bought them. I sent you the money. Well, I bought them. I brought them all the way back. I figured you just let me have one or two. And I bought you a lot.
You're in trouble, man. Yeah, you're in trouble. You are. You're in trouble. Bro, right? You know, Derek.
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair.
It's one of those you just kind of let it go. You know.
I asked her, "Who are you to take the food?"
She can't say
you paid for.
Give you one. Man.
So you yelled at your pregnant daughter?
I didn't yell at her.
No, wait. I know you. Did you yell at your pregnant daughter?
I did not yell.
Okay, I'm just saying because I know you fight over White Castle burgers.
Right, man. I'm so hot right now. I'm hot as fish grease, man.
See?
I'm so hot. My clothes ain't touching me nowhere, man.
See what I mean?
Bro, I'm hot. I'm literally mad for real. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm probably gonna get in trouble from my mom, but mom, yes, I'm mad. I am pissed off.
All right, well, we'll do the best we can to cool you off before.
How many did she buy you, Bear?
I had like 20 surf and turfs, and I had like 10 double cheeseburgers.
Okay, so how many did she eat?
It was 4 left.
No, hold time out. When did she buy them? Today?
Yesterday.
Since yesterday. 16 out of 20 are gone.
Oh my
God.
So
funny, Derek.
She's eating for 2, man. Oh no.
She could, she should ask me to buy more. I just bought more. I couldn't wait to go downstairs. And then you talked about it, Derek, and got me all ready to go downstairs to eat some.
Oh my God.
I'm hot right now. Oh man. I told her that's what this, really makes me mad. Cause I said, look, there's some when I did the stuff on Monday with the schools, the guy that I went with, he took me to this place in it's in South, even more farther down south. I think it's Cumberland, New Jersey. And it's a very, very nice mix of Hispanic food down there. So there was some Mexican restaurant we went to and a Puerto Rican restaurant that we were going to go to. So we went to the Puerto Rican restaurant. And the food was so good, bro. It was so good. So I only ate half of it and I put it in the refrigerator. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to go ahead and, save this for later. I come downstairs this morning. My son's sitting at the table. I said, bro, you don't even live here anymore. You're eating food. You didn't know who it was. I might have spit in it or something. You don't even care, do you? Dad, this food good. Where you get this food from? I'm not talking about it being good. I know it's good. But I'm trying to figure out why you think you can just come. You are a visitor now. You're a visitor. You don't live here no more. You no longer have mail coming to this house. Your mail goes to your house. So why are you eating my food? You came in and warmed my food up. You know what I'm saying? He warmed my food up.
Wow.
I didn't say you could, dog. He's a visitor now. You don't just come to somebody's house, you visiting, and just take food.
All right, here's what you need to do. You need to go to his place and just raid the fridge or something. There's probably nothing in there. But
what's really what took me over the top, I just walked away from because I didn't want to say nothing to or do nothing to him. I look over and I see his clothes stacked in my his clothes, the wash clothes stacked. I'm like, dude, why didn't you wash at your house? Oh, we didn't have a washing detergent. You gonna come take mine from my house? I said, you know what? I don't even want you to use my energy. You just take the laundry detergent and go wash at your own house. I will after I finish this.
See, I laugh. Oh, so he eating your food, using your water. See, I'm laughing because I've gone through that with my kids, you know, when they've left and then come back like they grocery shopping at Walmart for free, right? Yeah, but see, if I use the approach that you use in terms of like raising my voice and stuff, and then Dad's why are you being mean? See, I got some paper thin sensitive kids, a couple of them.
Yeah. Why are you yelling? Yeah. That's what I get.
And then my wife comes home. Did you yell at the kids? Why didn't you ask what happened first?
Right.
What do you mean? What did you yell? Why did you say, hey, what happened?
No, not even that first. Well, babe, is everything all right? You cool? You all right? It wasn't none of that. Why did you yell at the kids?
Yeah. Yep. It never ends, man.
Or the other thing is when I get quiet, everybody, hey, what's wrong? Stop asking me what's wrong. It drives me nuts. Well, are you okay? What's wrong? Did I tell you anything was wrong? Stop asking me. And then, well, why are you getting mad? Because you keep asking me this.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get it.
It's a no-win.
Dude,
it's a no-win. I'm telling you, man.
Barrett, you tell some tall tales, man, but that story right there had my side hurt, man. That was the best one yet.
What do you mean tall tales?
The fact that they took your food, I enjoyed it immensely. I wish I could have been there to see it firsthand.
But D-Gun, you don't understand really what just happened. That's 2 sets of food that I had my mouth watering for. 2 sets that my mouth was all watering for that I went downstairs and it was not there.
And it will happen again and again and again.
It's not cool though. It's not cool though because
that's how kids think, man. That's how they think.
Oh, and then as I'm going up the steps, my other daughter comes down and says, did you cook something? No, I ain't cook something. Yeah, you don't even cook no more. Bruh.
I like I'll ask my daughter, like, she ordered food or like DoorDash, whatever. I'm saying, how did you pay for that? No, don't worry. I have mom's card. I'm like, so I paid for it. I paid for that. So I have this discussion with her all the time. She thinks the card is like this magical. It's not real money and nobody's paying for it. I'm like, you understand where that's coming from?
Right.
Card. You know what that means?
I'm so glad I'm not the only one that has to deal with this with kids
all the time, man.
Grown kids. I'm so glad I'm not the only one who deals with this stuff, man. Because I'm the bad guy. I don't care. I'm the bad guy. Yeah. So it doesn't bother me.
A package will arrive like it does every day. It's either my daughter or my wife. I'm like,
the difference is.
Yeah.
Well, see, the difference is whereas Baird will address it right then and there, I bite my lip and just turn and walk out. Because if I say what I want to say, then I got to sit down and listen to the white $5 lecture.
Yeah.
On why I have to take a different approach.
Hold on,
I'm thinking, hey, they grown. Hey,
hold on. Look at this.
What?
Read tone, man. Barrett. The tone, man. Tone. How does it feel to be a pawn in your household?
Right. That's exactly what I feel. Exactly.
Touche, Tone. Touche.
Right. Touche. Let me squeeze this in before we have to get out of here for this segment. Andrew Painter in the first inning hit 99, 98, 98, 97.8, and 97.8.
Wow. His first outing.
First inning. Yeah, in his first outing in the first inning.
Jeez.
So he had
say that one more time.
Geez, I just pulled it. All right, hold on.
Are you kidding me? 98, 99?
Yeah, he hit. Okay, where is it? 98, 99, 98.9, 98, 97.8, 97.8.
Come on, man. Come on.
Pretty good, right? Pretty good. Now, and this is why you got to be careful because he's 19. So the second inning took him 29 pitches to get through it. Actually, I'm sorry, 29 altogether he threw. But the second inning, Twins hit some balls hard because he was throwing a lot of heat. He ended up 3 straight batters. They ended up getting they scored a run on him. So he was good, not great. He had a great first, and then but this is good. This is what he needs to do right now. This is how you get a feel for what the big leagues are, and you got to change things up and do all those kind of things. So that was that's what it looked like for him. But he had all in all, it's exciting that he's out there through 2 innings, which is what they were intended.
They can mold that. They can, just the mere fact that we have that type of heat down, in AAA ball. That to me, I'm good
exciting.
With that.
Yeah,
it is exciting. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the fact that if who they playing, the Twins right now?
Yes.
If the Twins were hitting hard shots off, that means a lot of his stuff is coming right down the middle, which means he's going to have to get some movement on that fastball. Because if it's coming right down the middle, 99 is right in a fastball hitter's wheelhouse. Yeah. You don't even have to take a full swing and punch it a long way. So he's got to get some movement, and they'll work with him on that. The kid's 19 years old. Yeah. They'll work with him on that. But, you look at some of the best fastball pitchers, man, they go corner to corner on the plate. You don't know where, inside, outside. But once he learns how to make that pitch a little bit more deceptive and movable, man, that kid is going to be elite. You're talking about somebody going to make some serious money, as long as he doesn't have arm issues like Strauss ended up having down in Washington.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't have any arm issues, this kid's future is golden.
Yeah, he went faced 8 batters, allowed 2 well-struck singles and a run in the second inning. Got a fly out in a double play to short. So that's how it ended. So that was his outing today. Nick Cave hit a home run, 2-run shot for the Phillies. He's an interesting guy. I think he might be in the running for one of the outfield spots. Nick Cave. He's been around a little bit. He actually made a really good defensive play over the weekend where he threw a guy out at second from left field. So anyway, that's the way that looked. The Flyers have figured out that they need to be sellers. It only took about 15 years for them to decide that. So the trade deadline is Friday at 3 p.m. They have lost 7 of 8. They are 23, 28, and 10 on the season. It is careening to a halt this season for them. So we'll see what happens by Friday, but they should do everything they can to make significant changes on this roster. And if you have to go into a tank, go into a tank. You should have been tanking all year, actually, but that's kind of where they're at. Remember, they started off pretty decently. So that's it. That's where they are. That's all she wrote for those 2 things. We come back. It is Sixers time. We are going to talk to Mark Jackson from NBC Sports Philadelphia, former Sixer himself, about the state of this team after 2 straight losses to the Celtics of late, and then the Heat in their last game. So we will get into all that with Mark when we come back. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We're Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, let's talk about identity management from Razor Technology. Yes, with cyber threats like ransomware on a seemingly endless uptick and the risk of a breach or data loss higher than ever, the need to know just who is accessing your networks, systems, and applications is mission critical. Identity management from Razor Technology is a holistic framework of policies, technologies that lock down access to the right users and only for the right reasons. They deploy cutting-edge solutions that identify, authenticate, and monitor access across your entire IT system. Razor Technology determines how users gain an identity in your system, what roles they need to fill, and enforces access controls with network protocols, digital certificates, behavioral analysis, and secure authentication methods. Talk to Razor Technology today to learn how identity management can reduce the risk of a data breach while avoiding costly errors and downtime due to lack of access. Contact Razor Technology today at 866-797-3282, 866-797-3282, or visit them online at razor-tech.com. That's razor-tech.com.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer three major services, the first one being basement waterproofing. The second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs. And then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Jeff D'Ambrosio doesn't need a special event to appreciate his customers. Jeff shows his appreciation to them every day of the year. Jeff makes sure to stock more new inventory than anyone and guarantees prices and payments that nobody can beat. There are so many reasons that thousands of customers know Jeff is the easy, friendly place to do business. More for their trades, no judgment zone for credit issues, the best, most reliable service department in the country. That's why I like Jeff, and I know you will too. Jeff will satisfy you every day. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Owner Appreciation Event.
We all know that taxes are just part of life. It's true during our working years, but also in retirement. But what you might not know is up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxed. Our team at Thrive Financial has helped retire thousands of people across the Delaware Valley by asking questions they never knew they needed to ask, including how their Social Security benefits might be taxed. It's time to be proactive on taxes. Get your Thrive Retirement Tax Playbook today.
Plan your day with confidence.
Keep the umbrellas on hand.
With Action News and AccuWeather.
Numerous tornadoes.
Your go-to team when severe weather strikes.
The water is still rising.
Keeping you prepared wherever you watch. Action News and AccuWeather, the team you trust.
All right. Hour number 3. Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Barrett Brooks, Derek Gunn, Rob Ellis hang with you. Smash that like button if you could, folks. We certainly do appreciate if you could do that for us. We're going to be joined hopefully momentarily by Mark Jackson from NBC Sports Philadelphia. We'll talk a little Sixers with Mark as they are in Miami tonight and then in Dallas tomorrow. So that is a tough 1-2 punch, but we knew that going in, guys. This month of March is challenging for them. 17 games in 31 days. 12 of the first 15 are on the road. 4 sets of back-to-backs. So not going to be easy right now. And they're kind of they took a couple shots, couple shots, and they're just sort of kind of seeing where they're at right now after the last 2 games when they lost to Boston and of course the last one to Miami, and they get them again tonight. So we'll see how that shakes out. Should be interesting.
That's really how you have to look at it, man, because I can't see them not being like the word midway through the season. I still have faith in them. It's not blind faith like I had them last year. I'm a little bit more reserved, but I do think they have an opportunity. I think that Embiid going into this playoff season will give us a lot better of an effort. Not necessarily that he was lacking, but more of an upbeat effort. He always gives effort, but more of an upbeat effort instead of a moping effort. You know.
Yeah, he wasn't happy with not winning the MVP last year. All right, so let's dig into it. Looks like Mark is up and ready to rock and roll. If you get a chance, check him out. NBC Sports Philadelphia does an excellent job on the pre and post game as well as halftime with Amy Fadul and the coach Jim Lynam. And first off, Mark, congrats on your boy, man. Catholic League championship the other night for your Roman squad. Good for him, man. And what was a heck of a game on both the girls and the boys side there at the Palestra at the Cathedral.
Yeah, it was a good game. You know, I have two sons on Roman Catholic.
Okay.
So let's give them both.
Yeah.
Jackson, who's a sophomore, who's a starting low post player for him. And my son, Sammy Jackson, who's a freshman guard, comes off the bench for him. So I have two sons who won that championship. And the ironic thing about it, a statistician ran up to me after the game and was like, "Do you know what today is?" I said, "No. It's the 30th anniversary of you and the head coach winning the championship in this building in overtime as well." I'm like, "Holy cow, you serious?" Like, "Yes, sir." So that was crazy when he ran up and told me that. So that was crazy stat.
That's awesome, man. Is it hard for you? You played, obviously, you played at the highest level. You were a great player in high school, college, the whole nine. Is it hard for you to watch? Like, are you nervous? How hard is it to watch the kids play? Because you can't control that, right?
You know, you can't control what happens with them when they're in their journey, but you also are aware and see how can I best help them. So I'm in their ear a lot. We work out a lot together in the weight room as well as on the court. So we do those things. I have three sons, and all three of them are incredible basketball players to their thing. And we work on a lot of stuff together. So I can't fight their battles for them. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm also being a father, but I think I look at it more as also being a father, but also actually being an advisor, being a coach. Like, how would I help them? How can I help in this situation? So it was stressful. It's a stressful situation watching them out there, but I'm also a proud father. So, you know, but win, lose, or draw, I just know I love them to death.
Yeah.
Are you a verbal dad in the stands, or do you sit on your hands?
You know what? I'll be honest with you. Like, at first, I was a very quiet person, but now as the game, I'm not coaching them. No, I never do that.
Right.
But I'm communicating from the side. Like, watch the back, pick it back. Yo, X, watch it. Like, I'm that guy.
Mm.
So, you know, or I'm always, I never give my son instructions. All I scream is eat. All I scream is eat. Like, I want you to be a dog out there. I want you to go after every rebound. I want you to get a loose ball. I want you to make sure you do your good. So all I scream is eat. That's not necessarily rebounding. That's not necessarily scoring. That's just having an impact on every single play.
I need you to be in the next session game, and I want you to tell Tobias, eat. That's what I want you to do. Eat. I want you to be out there telling them all, you know, I need you all to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's really pissed me off now, man.
Yeah. So
the inconsistency, but you know.
Well, let's go there, Mark. I mean, because, and look, I was on the, hey, give these guys a chance. This is a new year. When they beat Memphis, I felt like there was something different there. And then you see some of the bad habits creep in against the Celtics and then the Heat the other night. Where do you think they are right now as a team?
You know, so it's interesting. So one thing, you know, this person said, "I'm Mr. She called me Mr. Philadelphia." She said, "You are Mr. Philadelphia because you're touchable, and you have conversation with people daily on the street, and they ask these same questions." I'm always make sure I'm honest. You know, if you actually, and people, the same people I see on a daily basis in Center City, the same people I see, and they ask the same question. You still like this team? You still like this team? A month ago, I would always say it's hard for me to pick things that would make me say I couldn't see this team going to the finals. And today, a guy asked me today, as I was training, like, did you still feel that way you felt 3 weeks ago? And I was like, now I'm scratching my head. And let me tell you why. I still like this team. I think we need scoring. We have scoring. We need defense. We got guys that can stop. We need people to get people easy opportunities, get some buckets. We have that. But one thing that resonates with me is we lose to Boston in a close game. We lose to Miami. Yes, we beat Memphis, but Memphis hasn't been great the last 10 games. I don't know what their record's been in the last 10 or 12 games. They haven't been the Memphis opponent. Right. No disrespect to them. They just haven't been flowing like that. So when you lose to Boston, when you lose to Miami, we say, oh, that's okay, there's good losses, there's good teams. That's true, they're good teams. But we're supposed to be a good team. How come we can't get that win? How come Joel Crushheim is not making that basket to win the game? How come the shot that Jimmy made the other night, How come James didn't make the shot? How come it's okay for us to lose these games in these fashions when I feel as though it should be us winning them in those fashions? And I'm not the one to be different when the playoffs come. When you play against a certain level of competition, a certain level of how to get the win should come to the forefront. How come we're not getting those wins? How come it's okay for us to say, oh, we lost that game because Tatum hit a great shot? Or why wasn't that us hitting that great shot? Oh, we lost that game because Jimmy hit an acrobatic shot. How come that wasn't us winning that game? So, like, do I pick us to win the finals now? I don't. And I can't pinpoint what it is, but we're not getting these wins that I would like for us to get. Do we have a good team? Absolutely. Do we have a lot of pieces we need to win? Absolutely. But we need to bring it together. We need to bring it together now.
Mark, let me ask you this. When you have the final stretch of a schedule like the Sixers do, the toughest schedule down the stretch, how difficult is it mentally and emotionally to get up for every game? I mean, you're only human. And basically, if you look at the final 20-something games they have, all of them have playoff ramifications in terms of seeding. Now, they've got a stretch of back-to-back-to-backs, 12 or 15 on the road against better competition than what they played before the All-Star break. Isn't there ebbs and flows in terms of how you can mentally get up every night for games?
Let me tell you how I think differently. I like the fact that it's like that.
Right.
Because you have no excuse to not get up for games.
Right.
When you're playing against a good team this day, two bad teams, mediocre teams this day, playing another good team this day, your mind could wander. But for me, when you're constantly playing against the elite of the elite every single night, it sharpens your skill. I'm a big believer in iron sharpens iron. I'm a huge believer in iron sharpens iron. So every single night I'm playing against the elite team, then my mind can never go. My focus can never worry. It has to be consistent. It has to be top notch. And it makes you a better club, and it makes you prepare for what's about to come down the pipe when it's a 7-game series.
Well, let me ask you.
Go ahead, B.
I'm going to ask you this then. All right, so in saying that and looking how this team is put together, and is Tyrese Maxey in a position where he can continue to be a guy that comes off the bench? Because his numbers, when he comes, I understand why they do that, because he can eat with the second unit. But he has the most point production when he's on with the starters. Where is that in his development, especially this year? Because they're going to need him in the worst way when you got Tobias Harris getting 2 points and DeAnthony Melton, 6 points. They're going to need him to fill it up a little bit once we do get into the playoffs. So is he where he's supposed to be right now, or would you start him or keep doing what he's doing right now?
That's a loaded question, my man, but let me tell you like this. I think he's where he needs to be right now.
Okay.
He needs to come off the bench because he really can't eat like he should eat when he's in the starting lineup with James Harden and Joel Embiid. He just can't. My biggest complaint as a starter is that he would score in bunches, where he would go up and down the floor and not be involved in offense 3, 4, 5 plays in a row, and then he'd get it, and he's now downhill 4 or 5 plays in a row, then he'll go back to not being involved. It's hard for a player to stay in rhythm. Like for Tobias, even though Tobias' numbers have been up and down, Maxey out of the lineup, starting lineup, helps Tobias get more touches on the ball. Is he being effective as he's been his whole career? Absolutely not. If you was to ask him, he'll tell you, I haven't been myself. Absolutely not. Because it's hard for me to get in the flow. We got 2 ball-dominant scorers in James Harden and Joel Embiid. Yeah, you got to find a way. You got to find a way. And the reason why Melton and P.J. Tucker's in the lineup over Maxey, because it gives Tobias an opportunity to be more involved, to get going, whether it's a catch or shoot, whether it's to put the ball on the floor, create, but it gives an opportunity. Now you put Maxey in there, that's just too much guys, too many guys that have to touch the rock. That's why I like Maxey off the bench. And I'll tell you this, people can talk about how great James' numbers have been, how great Joel has been. But listen, Maxey needs to be consistently going downhill every single play. He gives this team another aspect of scoring. He gives this team another threat. The way he scores the ball is not in the even flow of the game. He creates opportunity by being a one-man fast break. or makes a miss is pushing the ball and able to put the other team on their heels because he's downhill. He's 150 miles an hour in a lane that's zoned for 65. That's why Max is so important. That's why he has to be consistent. If he's not getting 20, he needs to be shooting the ball 20 times every game.
Mark, here's the question I have for you. And I understand why Doc's doing this. You know, Melton gives you more defensively, and you could have some real shortcomings with Harden out there and Maxey out there. I get it, believe me. But do you think about switching this up at all and throwing Maxey back into the starting lineup and Melton off? Melton's not giving you much offensively. I don't know if he's hurt or he's just falling, hitting a wall, whatever. And then it might be a way to get Maxey more consistently going. Do you try to switch things up at all, I guess is my question?
So, if you know, we all want to be sideline quarterback, our coaches, because we think we know everything when we're not in the trenches. So what would I do personally? I would leave it just the way it is. And let me tell you why Melton's up and down. We don't need Melton to give you 20 points. We don't need that. The reason Melton's in the lineup is we don't need that from him. We need that from Maxey. Melton's main objective is to be a defender out there, to give us miscellaneous things. Maxey has a much bigger role than that. He has a greater role to play for this team. We need his offensive ability. We need him to be a spark. So for him being in that lineup, he will start to fluctuate and have the even flows like Melton's having, like Tobias having. We can't afford for Maxey to be that. Maxey has to be a scorer for us. That has to be consistent. It can never be games where he's not in the flow offensively. It can't be games where he's shooting 4 times like sometimes Tobias has. We cannot afford for Maxey to do that. That's why Melton's in the lineup. That's why PJ Tucker's where they are. Because we can afford those guys to focus no matter what. Defense is our card. We need more energy. We need more defensive stops. We need more presence defensively. And that's why PJ Tucker and Melton's in that lineup.
Mark, give me one player that really just frustrates you on this team. When you look at this game, you're thinking on both sides of the court, why aren't you doing this? And why haven't you done that? Give me one player that might fall in that category.
Well, you have to forgive me. None of them players frustrate me because I played this game. So as a professional athlete, you can't say a player frustrates you because they're doing their job. 99.9% of people in the world can't do their job. They don't frustrate me. But if I have to pick a player I would like to see have a better season, it would be Tobias.
Okay.
It would be Tobias because people, and I know, and here's the problematic situation. You're judged on your contract. We can say whatever, people say whatever, oh, it's about this. No. Players in sports are judged on their contracts. How great you are, it's also about where you're getting paid at that determines how we judge are you really great or not. And that's the thing with Tobias. Me personally, I know it's hard for Tobias, but Tobias is not a catch and shoot guy. That's Furkan, that's other guys. That's not Tobias. Tobias has never been at his entire career. So now he's trying to adjust to a role that he's actually struggling with. And we've seen that struggle coming once he brought in James Harden. He's like, man, we got too many cooks in the kitchen right now. And he has to adapt. He's been trying. Has it been flowing as well as he would like it? No, it's not. Could it be better? Absolutely. So I would like to see Tobias get more opportunities. I'm big on this. I'm big on no matter what. You can never go out games, you're only getting 4 or 5 shots a game. That just can't be. Now, PJ Tucker can, Melton can, but it should never be a game where Melton or PJ shoot the ball more than Tobias. It should never be a game where he's only shooting single digit, getting shot at them. That's unacceptable. I don't know if that's maybe as a coaching staff, we can formulate ways to get him touches early or get him touches consistently, but that can never be the case, ever. Because I know we have James, we know we have Joel, we know we have Maxey. But Tobias is that missing link to me. That if you have a fourth guy, to me, we look at this team, he's the 4th overall option offensively. That's not bad. That is incredible. But because of his contract, we will say that's still not good enough. So, but for me, I want to see Tobias get more opportunities on a consistent basis. If he's not getting touches, hold on, stop. Let's run this little step to get him something on the post up. That's going to say to get him some little ISO situations here on a weak side. We have to manufacture ways to get him going. If he can't find ways to get him going himself.
Well, let me ask you this, man. I just saw this last game. James took the last shot. And I was good with that. But my cohorts, especially Rob was like, well, why didn't Joel take the shot? He's right there in the basket. And I'm not even talking about the play before where he got a shot blocked. But I didn't have a problem with having James shoot that last shot. I think that's going to build and be better for him going into this playoffs because now we have two guys that can finish the game. You know, I don't know what your thoughts are on that. James being a finisher.
Boom. James has been finishing his whole life. So when we got James, we have more options. Okay, so we all know this. We all know that. We all know the game. We know basketball. We know football. We know it all, right? But we know something. The more options you have in crunch time, the more it's harder for a team to defend you. Yep. And that's why we go back to, we know before James, we always knew Joel was going to get the ball. We always knew that. We always knew Joel. Now you got James, you got Joel. It's like Doc Rivers can kind of sit back and say, you know what, okay, who has the better matchup? Who has the matchup at that time? Like, I've seen Joel on numerous occasions in crunch time step back and just give James space to do what James does. And I respect that because Joel could always be that guy, but he understands he has another closer on his team. So we take that down a notch and we say why I'll harp on the importance of Tobias. During the course of the game, the more guys you have that give you just different options to score the ball, the harder it is for a team to defend you. That's why I say it's so important for Tobias to get going. He don't have to have 20 points, but he darn sure can't have 8 shot attempts. That can't happen because it gives the team more opportunities to be successful. So in crunch time, you know it's going to narrow down. It's not just narrowing down for Joel Embiid to be a closer. We have two. And I'm going to tell you this. A big aspect of being a closer is being able to hit foul shots. That's very important. We have Joel and we have James that are both closers, but they both are incredible free throw shooters. And I think they're so underrated in today's game.
What for those of us on the outside looking in, what are some of the little intricacies we should look closely at for the rest of the season as they continue on this journey through this?
Some little things you need to pay close attention to when a ball gets kind of stagnant, when a ball is going James Joel, where's Tobias? I'm talking about when Maxi's not on the floor. Where's Tobias? Right? Where's Tobias? Has he go 3, 4, 5 times up and down the floor and not touching it? I'm not saying necessarily score the ball, but having an opportunity to put the ball in his hands for him or somebody else, that gets him in the flow. Pay close attention to times where Tobias is not involved in a play for 4 straight plays or 5 straight plays. And then when he gets the ball, watch how difficult it is for him to really score the ball when you've been sitting, or not necessarily sitting, when you've been standing for 5 straight plays, then all of a sudden you trying to get it create because you don't know when the next time you're going to get it. So look for that because I think that is going to be that's a problem to me now we have as a team. And I think that's going to continue to be a problem until we can find a way to get Tobias consistently involved. And like I said, I mean involved. I don't mean for him to score the ball every single play, but I mean for him to have an opportunity to feel the ball, to get into the rhythm of the offense. I think that's something we have to pay close attention to from now to the playoffs.
Mark, what distinguishes this team than say a couple of these teams that have been bounced in the second round in your estimation? Like what do they have that can get them past that hump that they haven't been able to get over?
Well, the first thing is no more freak accidents.
Right.
No more freak accidents. You know, I really think when playoff time comes, he's not going to like this. I think we should isolate Joel. You know, only allow Joel to walk when he's on the basketball court, pick him up, put him in a floating plate, put him to his dinner, go to the bathroom, in the shower with him, and then we play him and we put him back on the court. He's not
bubble wrap him, yeah.
Period. I think no more freak accidents. I think that's the key. But I really believe, and I know we lost to Boston, guys. I know we lost to Miami. I look at this team. I don't think now. I'm about to say the fear word. In a 7-game period, and y'all know me, I'm a Philly guy. I never have been a homer. I never will. But Boston made a big move, bringing in another stretch 5. That was a big move. I know Al Horford got hot last game. I think he had 5 threes, 4 or 5 threes. But I love him. He's not going to do that consistently. But when they brought in, what's his name? The stretch 5. Muscala. That's another stretch 5 who is a consistent shooter. So that worried me. And then another thing that a team did that nobody's talking about is Milwaukee bringing in Crowder. because he hasn't played this year because he kind of have a deal with Phoenix that he just go home and wait till he trades you. That's a big move. That gives Milwaukee another a defender, a long wing that can hit the standstill three. So teams are bringing in these floor spaces, and they already have Brook Lopez and Portis, which are also now 3-point shooters. So now everybody's goal, people can say what they want, but everyone's goal is to get Joel away from the rim. Everyone's goal. So now with Joel on that rim guard, with that perimeter guard guys, it leaves the lane open. I know we've lost those games versus those teams, but I don't really fear these teams. Can adjustments be made? Listen, I would go in a street fight versus any of these teams, these 76ers. I really believe we have a shot. I really believe that. Now, that shot depends on Tobias getting involved consistently and Maxey getting involved consistently scoring the ball.
Well, all right, then there it is then. So do we have enough in Doc? Can Doc Rivers, can he do it?
I see what you did there.
Can he do it though? Can he coach these guys up to get them where they need to go?
I'm gonna tell you this. Morey and Elton Brand put the pieces there where it needs to be put, and they just said, "Man, we gave you the pieces. What you gonna do with it?" So is Doc good enough? Absolutely, he's a champion. He's top 10 in the NBA in all-time wins. He's been around the block and some. But the thing is, can he gel them in time? There's no more excuses. Last year we got James with a season, but no, we've had a whole season now. This is the season. All the pressure's on Doc. All of it. And Doc's my man. I love him. Sam Cassell's my brother from another mother. But the pressure's on them more than it's on anyone that's in those uniforms playing on that court.
Okay.
How much do you concern yourself with the rebounding issues, Mark? They are not a good rebounding team. You saw the way the game started the other night. 9 straight offensive boards for the Heat, man.
Can't have that.
It's been an issue all year. And some of that's but some of it is they just don't rebound well.
I agree with you. And I don't care how great a defender you are. I don't care how great of a defensive team you are. But defense ends when you get the rebound. And if you keep, I'm a boxing fan, right? So if you keep giving up offense rebounds, it's like you and your opponent is in the ring and you're evenly matched. But you keep absorbing body shots. Eventually you're gonna get your legs retired, you're gonna get walked down. That's the same as the Sixers. They play great defense, but they give up the offense rebound. Eventually it wears you down. Eventually it tires you out. So by the time that 7th, 8th, 9th round, you were just physically beat up from taking those rib shots. That's the same thing with getting them offensive rebounds. It's so important to understand. You look at a lot of great teams that had a player who was a top 5 team in the NBA in rebounding or has a major inside presence. A lot of times as the rest of the team, you just stand and look like, oh, he got that. And you don't give that slight bit more effort to rebound when you have such a major impactful player on the court with like Joel Embiid. So a lot of times you don't think I got to crash a glass. No. But if you look at some of the more undersized teams that don't have that huge size presence, you look at a lot of teams that just have smaller and they rebound the ball. They know they have to do it collectively. They don't have a 7'1", 280-pound, gigantic person who they can rely on. They know it has to be a group effort. And that's the reason I think the 76ers struggle on a rebounding, because they see we have Joel Embiid who's massive. And Joel Embiid is so massive, like, oh, he got it. No, he doesn't have it. There has to be a collective effort by everyone.
All right, Mark, staying on that defensive theme, how much do they need to improve on their perimeter defense? If you look at the last 2 games in particular, the opposition's having way too many wide open looks beyond the arc.
Yes, and unfortunately, that's not going to improve because now the game is trending them more threes. Not saying the Sixers is not going to get better, but I'm talking about the way the game is played.
Right.
Everyone's going to be standing around the 3-point line. That's why, respectfully, the marginal teams in the NBA, if you look at a loss records at the bottom of the totem pole, is because they have guys on the wing that can shoot the ball. So you always have a chance to get back in the game. I think that now the trend is a lot of people say, oh, the game is fixed. How can a team be up 20 and lose that lead? Because of the 3-point shot. And everybody's bringing in more shooters, or guys are working on their ability to shoot the 3. So they always have a shot. So with that being said is, You can't have 3-point shooting while having a 1 or 2 players that can force a double team, that can force help. So the reason why the Sixers are struggling so much guarding the 3 is we're playing some teams with elite talent on the other side. So you got Tatum, you got Brown. When one of those guys gets to the paint, you have to bring help. So then they kick it, and then guys are rotating the help, but down the ball's constantly moving. You're already behind an 8 ball because you couldn't keep that one player from forcing a double. Now you're in a scramble mode. So that's something we have to improve on. We have to improve on one-on-one defense, keeping guys in front of us, because that will prevent them from getting many open looks from the 3.
Okay. Mark, what do you think tonight, man? Do they bounce back against the Heat? They got the Mavs tomorrow night as well. The tough 1-2 punch here.
No rest for the Larry, brother.
Yeah.
No rest for the, listen, this game to me, if you think about it, the way we lost to Miami, we want to hurry up and we want to play them. We don't want to, respectfully, we don't want to play the Orlando Magic now.
Yeah.
We don't want to play Oklahoma City. We want to play Miami again because we know we should have beat them. We need to get them back now. And I love that we're playing them again right now. And then they say we got arguably maybe the best backcourt in the league with Kyrie and Luka. So you want them. Can we bounce back? I think we can. Should we bounce back? We should. Do we need to bounce back? Absolutely. Not necessarily for the win-loss, but for us mentally.
Yep.
And win-loss starts here.
No
we
question.
lost to Boston, we lost to Miami, we're going to lose Miami again. And that's set a precedent. Like, maybe we may be not as good as we thought we were. And then the pressure starts coming. And once that pressure starts coming and you start questioning yourself, everything falls apart.
Mark, great analysis, man. We love having you on.
Appreciate you,
and we appreciate you, and we enjoy your work on NBC Sports Philadelphia with Amy and Coach Lynham. And keep up the good work, my man. We'll keep checking you out. Tonight's
See you tonight, bro. See you tonight.
See you tonight. Yeah, Barrett will see you there.
Appreciate you guys.
Be good, man.
Thanks, Mark. All right, take care. Yeah, Mark Jackson does a great job, man. Joining us from the club, from the health club, man. And we love that he hops on with us there, talking Sixers. All right, let's come back, guys. We got a couple things we're going to hit in the open talk. You have a question for us. I actually, Coach Terrence, who do I think wins tonight? I think the Sixers win tonight. Feels like a Sixers win in my estimation. I didn't even look at the line, but I think they win. Let me pull up the line while we're doing this. Actually, right now, let's see. The Sixers are. It's an even line. Barrett, yeah, you have the Sixers winning too. It's an even line, which is telling me something. It's a Sixers game tonight. Sixers game. All right, we'll come back. Chat section questions. You have a question? Throw a question mark up there, and we will field them. And I got 2 things. I got a goofy baseball story and something that's right in my wheelhouse, in addition to birthdays and movies. Okay, we'll do all that when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Derek and Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis, Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Right back.
Go to get your game on. Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the stakes and the stakes. Go to get your parlay on. Go to get your party on. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean. Visit theoceanac.com to plan your visit.
At Pond Lehocky, we've recovered billions of dollars for our clients, and we're confident we can do the same for you. With over 250 years of combined courtroom experience, we've helped over 100,000 injured clients obtain some of the largest settlements in Pennsylvania. One conversation is all it takes to help you and your family get back on track. If you've been injured in an accident, give Pond Lehocky a call.
Hi everybody, my name's Jason Lombardi. I'm an inspector at DryTech. At DryTech we offer 3 major services, the first one being basement waterproofing, the second service we offer is foundation and structural repairs, and then the third service that we offer is mold remediation. If you feel you are having a waterproofing issue, give DryTech a call or check us out online.
Jeff D'Ambrosio doesn't need a special event to appreciate his customers. Jeff shows his appreciation to them every day of the year. Jeff makes sure to stock more new inventory than anyone and guarantees prices and payments that nobody can beat. There are so many reasons that thousands of customers know Jeff is the easy, friendly place to do business. More for their trades, no judgment zone for credit issues, the best, most reliable service department in the country. That's why I like Jeff, and I know you will too. Jeff will satisfy you every day. Jeff D'Ambrosio, Destination Downingtown, Owner Appreciation Event.
We all know that taxes are just part of life. It's true during our working years, but also in retirement. But what you might not know is up to 85% of your Social Security benefits might be taxed. Our team at Thrive Financial has helped retire thousands of people across the Delaware Valley by asking questions they never knew they needed to ask, including how their Social Security benefits might be taxed. It's time to be proactive on taxes. Get your Thrive Retirement Tax Playbook today.
Plan your day with confidence.
Keep the umbrellas on hand.
With Action News and AccuWeather.
Numerous tornadoes.
Your go-to team when severe weather strikes.
The water is still rising.
Keeping you prepared wherever you watch. Action News and AccuWeather, the team you trust.
All right, welcome back. Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network on this Wednesday. All right, I got to hit you guys with this first. You know, Pluto. Pluto's one of those streaming services channels. Pluto is launching, beginning today, a 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 days a year Rocky channel.
What?
Rocky movies all day. I may never leave the house again. It's very possible. Yes,
bro. That's you definitely know what you're watching.
Yes,
now. It's not sports. It's that.
I'm telling you. If I'm unprepared for the shows coming up, you guys will know what's going on, man. I'll just speak.
Which means in the future, I expect to hear 5 to 10 Rocky lines per show.
Correct.
All right.
And I'll pull out some trivia on this dates. Yes. So that was music to my ears, man. I know what I'm doing for the next 10 hours today. Yes.
I have Pluto on my channel system. I've never watched anything on Pluto.
Bro, I thought you were talking about the planet or if it's even.
That's what I
thought. I couldn't tell you anything about the channel, but now I'm the biggest fan of it. So it's
right.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to give us some kind of astrology fact or something, man.
Bro, I can name all the planets. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto.
There used to be 9. Aren't there 8 now, according to the latest science data?
Well, Pluto might not.
Pluto's gone.
Right.
Yeah, I think one of those that I just named is
right.
bye-bye.
Moon. Yeah, moon now.
So anyway, I thought you'd enjoy that. All right, questions. Chris D has one. If the Sixers bow out in the second round again, what are the chances? What chances do you think are for the Sixers to offer Mark Jackson? I think Mark could absolutely be a coach if he chose to.
Yeah.
He knows the game that well. I think he'd be a great big man coach too.
Right.
Specifically. I don't know that, he hasn't, not to my knowledge, coached since he retired. So I don't know that he'd be offered anything by the team.
He coaches his kids. He coaches the league,
Yeah, AAU, I think he coaches. Yeah.
So he has that. I think he'd be an absolute great coach.
Yep.
He won't be a coach simply because, like he just said, his kids are right at the the
apex.
He wants to watch them play. Yeah, they are all studs too. I mean, they are. Yeah.
So he would rather do that than do it. There's no question he could be a coach in the NBA right now. Not really necessarily a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He could be a Cassell type of player that comes in and plays the big man and shows the big man what to do. Because he's phenomenal, man. Watching him when I saw him working out some kids one time. And, what he was teaching them, getting them going, and he doesn't yell. He doesn't raise his voice. He just knows how to get the best out of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's an art to that, man. Gigi, what's your favorite Rocky movie? It's one for me. It's one. How about you guys? It's absolutely one all day.
One?
Yeah.
I would say 3. Clubber Lang.
Clubber Lang's good.
What do you predict? Prediction? Pain.
That's
what I say.
Into that
camera, that's what I say. Anybody ask me, what's your relationship like with Barrett? Pain.
Mine has to be when he goes to Russia.
Oh, that's 4.
He trains there. That's me. That's
all
time right there.
Yeah, Drago.
When was that? When was that one?
That was 4. That was Rocky 4. Yeah. 3 was Clubber. The first 2 are Apollo. He fights Apollo. Then it's Clubber Lang. Then it's Russia. 5 is awful. I admit 5's awful.
What's his name? Tommy
Gunn.
Ugh. And then
did I tell you the story about that?
About Tommy Gunn? No.
Yeah, about Tommy Gunn. Oh my God. Well, Tommy Gunn, he was a boxer for real. So my boy, he's from Kansas City. So my boy knows him. He was real tight with him, played tight end for us. And I can remember we were going to go to play Nebraska. And that Friday night inside the hotel, somebody ordered the fight. So it's like 15 of us all in this one hotel room because we're playing Nebraska. This we're in Kansas State.
Yeah.
Nebraska. And he's hyping this boy up. This is my brother from another mother, you know what I'm saying? And we got to play a game the next day. We got to play against Nebraska, our heated foe, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nebraska was the number one team in the country at the time. We balling. I'm about to go against Trev Alberts, the number one defensive player in the country at the time.
Okay.
I'm hype already. Man, we watching this fight, and he lost. In fact, he got his ass kicked.
Uh-huh.
And dude started crying. And Al's my dude, but he started crying. I was
really?
Like, yes.
Oh, my God.
So, at the time, I was real silly back then. I was real silly.
He never heard the end of that. Yeah.
Oh, he still don't hear the end. I still bring this story up.
He deserves it for crying. Come on, man. You don't cry. But that one was bad. I thought Rocky Balboa was good. And then I haven't seen the new one that's out, but I like the two Creeds. I thought the Creeds are good. I think Michael B. Jordan was awesome in the Creeds.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he directed this one, the one that just is coming out now or just came out or whatever.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I hope it's good. I hope it's good. I'm sure it'll be. I'll be able to check.
It doesn't matter if it's good or not. You gonna watch?
I'm watching it. No, man, I'm a total sucker for it. That's true. All right, this was pretty funny yesterday. So the Orioles and the Pirates in an exhibition game. So the game, the home team had the lead. Top of the ninth. They have the game end, the third out. Typically the game ends, right? There's no reason to play the bottom of the ninth if the home team's winning. But both teams decided we want to get further work in. And the managers convened. And the Orioles and the Pirates both agreed, you know what, we're going to keep playing. And the umpires are like, oh, you are? Well, we're out of here. We did our job. Bye-bye. The umpires rolled. And you had the catchers calling strikes and balls. It was like if you played pickup baseball as a kid. What? They kept playing the bottom of the ninth to get pitchers in there, get some batters or some hit with some extra at bats and all that kind of stuff.
That's cool, man. That's great. Yeah, that's great.
That's crazy.
You don't see that much, man.
No, you don't. You don't. I'm surprised the guys wanted to do it. I really am surprised.
I am too. I give them props. Those guys wanted to get some work in, man.
Bro, I can remember back in the day we lost when I was in high school. We lost. Oh, our coach made us sit out. We had a scrimmage. After we got our ass kicked, we had a scrimmage right after the game. We scrimmaged each other.
Right.
I'm like, what is going on? What is happening right now? We're literally out there scrimmaging now. We don't know who's on what team because we all got the same jersey on because we just got through playing the game. We scrimmage. And oh, by the way, we were at our sister schools. I went to McClure North. We were at McClure's Field.
Okay.
And we stayed there an extra hour and scrimmaged for an hour at their field.
Wow.
At their field. It was
extra
a Saturday
hour, man.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's a long time.
Crazy.
That is a long, long time. All right. Let's hit some birthdays and then we'll get back to the Eagles and some of the comings and goings with the Birds. All right. First, Justin Bieber, Derek's favorite, the Biebs. He is 29 today, the Biebs.
You said the Biebs.
That's your guy, the Biebs. He's 29 today. Lupita Nyong'o is 40 today, actress.
From Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
12 Years a Slave, Black Panther.
12 Years a Slave. Yep.
A lot of stuff. Ron
That's
Howard.
Right, us.
Yeah, us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ron Howard, great actor and director in his own right. What a career, man.
He'll always be Opie Taylor to me, bro.
I can't believe he's 69 years old now. It's just, I still see this little innocent face on Mayberry RFD and all this stuff, man.
Yeah, man.
Going fishing with his paw. That's what he calls
Paul.
Aunt B. Aunt B was a pain in the ass, but
she was.
You got through it. Yeah, you
she was a snitch, man.
Yeah,
why was she always snitching on him?
Yeah, man. She cooked a nice meal, but she was a pain.
Right.
Kesha, the singer, is 36 years old today. Mm-hmm. Frederick Chopin, the composer, was born on this day in 1810. Javier Bardem, who was one of my favorite all-time characters in No Country for Old Men.
Yes.
He is
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, he was. Yep, good in that too.
Really good. The Cheetah, Tyreek Hill, is 29 today.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase, 23 today. Man, he's only 23. Isn't that crazy?
23 years old. That's crazy, man.
Timothy Daly, the actor, is 67 today. Wings. He was in Wings. Yep, exactly right.
I love that show. That was one of my favorite sitcoms.
That was
they never left. They never left the hangar. I don't
they
know
were
how
always in that little area.
Yeah.
You never saw their houses or anywhere else.
Right.
And both brothers always hitting on the blonde.
Yes. Yep. Roger Daltrey, lead singer of The Who, is 79 today. Alan Thicke, the actor, was born on this day in 1947.
He's actually can sing for real. His dad was okay, but he can sing for real, man. Robin Thicke can sing.
Oh, Robin Thicke can sing for sure. Yeah. Alan sang the theme song for I think it was he wrote the Different Strokes theme song, and I think he sang the he wrote the theme song for what was the show?
The superhero movie, wasn't it?
Facts of Life. I think he wrote the Facts of Life, and he sang the I think he sang the Different Strokes theme song. Anyway.
Jeez.
Yeah, Different Strokes. Yeah.
Glenn Miller, the band leader, was born on this day, 1904. Chris Webber.
Do you know his story, Glenn Miller?
Not really. Not
you know. Okay, so you know he was a big orchestra leader.
Yeah, he was like the biggest guy during his day. Yeah.
He enlisted in one fashion of the military. He was declined, I believe, because of eyesight issues or something. He was finally accepted into the Army, and he still had a band in the Army. They would tour all over Europe and stuff like that. So he was trying to get from London to France for a gig, and he was worried about they wouldn't get there in time. The flights kept getting canceled because of bad weather in France. So him and not the band, but some other people take an unauthorized flight. The military didn't even know this what is this plane called? A UC-64 plane, they didn't know the plane was missing until 2 or 3 days later.
Oh.
He took the flight. Somehow, somewhere, the flight goes down. They believe it was human error, mechanical error, and weather. Supposedly never been found.
Oh, damn. What? They never found the plane.
It was like 40 years. He was 40 years old, and they never found him.
Oh, my God.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
I didn't know that. And he was in the military at the time.
He was in the military, yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's a great story. I mean, it's not great for him.
Yeah. Rob, hey, great story.
No, I didn't mean it didn't come out right. Interesting tidbit there. A better way to put it, I guess. All right, Chris Webber's 50 today.
Yep.
See Webb.
Fab Five.
Robert Conrad was born on this day, 1935, the actor. Yep. Catherine Bach in 1969.
Dude, speaking of Catherine Bach real quick, I'm working my first job in a business, and the area I'm in down in California, it was big for rodeos. So one of the towns there was called Brawley, and every fall they would have what was called the Brawley Cattle Call. And they would have a parade down the main street in El Centro, California, and everything. And Catherine Bach was like the guest. She was the main attraction to ride in one of the cars and stuff. So we had this little wimpy GM dude, little skinny dude, had breath like a dragon. And he's standing, she came into the lobby one day, and he's trying to put the moves on. Can I take you to lunch? And she's being polite. Wow. No, that's okay. I've got the, well, if you have time, I would love to sit down and just chat. No, I don't have time. And I'm thinking, man, please let it go, dude. I can smell your breath way over here.
Yeah, and you would have no shot anyway.
You ain't got no shot, bro. Just let it. And she, back in the day, in the immortal words of Rob Ellis, she was strong.
Strong?
Yeah.
She was Daisy Dukes, strong. Right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No.
Was that her sister or something?
No, you're right. She was Daisy. Yes, she was.
Whoa.
You're right.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Harry Belafonte is 96 years old. Guy, still around, man. Mark Paul Gosselaar from Saved by the Bell, 49 years old. Pete Rozelle was born on this day, former NFL commissioner in 1926.
I didn't know he never played football. He played basketball. I didn't know that, man.
Is that right? Yeah. And Harry Carey, the great longtime Cardinal, White Sox Cub, 1914. Harry was born.
Yep.
You guys got any other birthdays? I'll hit movies if you don't.
Yeah,
I got plenty.
Okay. Booker T,
the wrestler.
Yep. Yeah.
58 now. Jeez.
Yeah, 58. Don Lemon from NBC.
Okay.
He's 57. Stephen Davis. Remember running back, played for the Panthers?
Yeah.
Played for the Washington Redskins.
Auburn, right? I think.
You did.
And then
he was a fourth-round pick.
What I remember most is when he had did something to his leg. He had crutches. and he said something to Westbrook, the receiver from Colorado. He jumped up, turned around, and punched him in the face. Was punching, bam, bam, and they recorded it on TV. They were in practice, and they recorded it, and he got his butt whooped in front of everybody. The cameras and everything. So his mama saw him get his butt whooped like that, bro. So that's what I remember most about it. And then just I always try to end with a local tie.
Yeah.
Mike Rozier, the Heisman Trophy winner. He turned 62.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
You also have Ron Francis, one of the best centers to ever play hockey. I covered him. The Penguins won those back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. He's 60 today. He's now the general manager of the Seattle Kraken.
Yeah, he was a great player.
Unbelievable player. Eric Stokes, who's Green Bay's first-round draft pick a couple years ago, is 24 today. Thomas Hollywood Henderson, 70 years old today. Linebacker. Zack Snyder, Justice League, Man of Steel, 300, Watchman. He's 57. Oh, by the way, he's from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
What's his name?
Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder.
I don't know. Gotta look this up.
Dirk Benedict. Dirk Benedict from the A-Team in Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
He's 78 today. David Niven. Remember that name?
Yeah.
That old actor.
Yeah.
He passed away in 1983 at the age of 73, but he did Around the World in 80 Days, Pink Panther, Casino Royale. Great actor back in his day. And that's it.
Okay. All right, let's hit a couple of movies here. Monsters Ball in 2001.
I'm still mad about that.
Why is that, Barry?
That old kooky old man got him some of her, man. I'm just pissed off.
Halle Berry?
Yeah, man.
And what scene are you referring to, Barry?
Billy Bob.
Yeah, Billy Bob.
Billy Bob.
I wonder how many takes they did on that one.
Right.
Billy Bob's
I didn't get it right. Can I do it again? Can we do it
the
again?
lighting wasn't right. I heard a noise in the background. Do I even need to do the Medeas anymore? There's 1,000 of them. There's one every day of the calendar year.
Yeah,
it's like number 23.
Made him a billionaire.
Yeah, Medea's Family Funeral 2019. All right. 2002, 40 Days, 40 Nights.
Yep.
It was okay. Jack the Giant Slayer 2013. Not much else. Yeah, it was pretty weak.
Lame.
Embiid is listed as questionable with the left foot soreness. Now, yeah, but this is kind of what it's been for a while here. I don't know what's what anymore.
But you know what? It's been a problem all year.
Yeah.
You've got, as critical as all these games are right now, because they're losing and Milwaukee keeps winning and Boston keeps winning, they're sliding further down into Cleveland territory.
Right.
But you got to rest him. You got to give him a night off every now and then.
Yeah.
When you talk about these back-to-back games and 12 or 15 on the road, he's got, so there's a game or two he's not going to be able to play, man. And the other people got to step up and suck it up against this competition.
You're right. No, you're right about that. That's for sure. So the NFL,
let's go.
Yeah. One of those guys. As part of, I guess, the exit interviews, end of season, they do these team surveys. You guys familiar with these?
Yep.
So they basically, you get a grade. Okay. This is a player survey conducted by the NFLPA. Okay. So here's where the Eagles rank in these categories, according to their people, their players. Treatment of families, B-, tied for 16th. Midland.
What?
That's 32 teams. I'm just telling you what it is.
B-.
Food service, nutrition, A. They're tied for first.
I agree with that.
Nothing better.
I agree with that. Tim is a great chef.
It's insane. It's insane.
Yes.
Yep.
Weight room, A-, tied for 9th.
I agree.
Strength coaches, A+, tied for 1st.
I agree.
Health.
Training room, C-, tied for 22nd.
Oh,
training
really?
room
as in the room. But here's what's weird, Barrett. Training staff, A+, tied for 1st. They like the staff. They don't like the facility, I guess.
Right.
Wow.
Locker room, C+, tied for 18th.
It's pretty average.
Yeah.
Even at the stadium is average. It's very average.
It is.
How about this one? Team travel, D, 27th.
What?
They ride a regular plane, man. a regular plane, a passenger plane. They don't have their own. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Well, it's a private plane, but it's just a regular plane.
Yeah, it's just a regular plane, bro. Just like you know,
Man,
like
you got somebody 6'5", 6'6", 300 pounds sitting in a regular seat, man.
That's why they
Ain't
got
that
a
many
D-minus.
first class seats. Wow.
That's why they got a D-, man. It's a regular plane, bro. It's like what everybody else.
Yeah.
You got some teams that fly you like first class, like Jacksonville,
Right.
place like that. It's like really, really nice.
Yeah, the Commanders finished last overall, shockingly, receiving 1 F, 2 F minuses.
Wait, F minuses for what?
I don't know. Just overall, I don't know exactly. They didn't. I don't have a breakdown of theirs.
Wow.
Cardinals and Chargers were the next lowest, and Cowboys got the #1 seed for the way they treat the families. So that's what we got, man, as far as that stuff goes. So,
well, you know, you'd be surprised, man. There's a lot of colleges that have better facilities than NFL. I remember I went on a couple of visits. You know, when I was during the process of me going to the NFL. You know, like I went in, interviews, like private interviews with Kansas City Chiefs, and I can remember being in the Kansas City Chiefs, and this guy named Kirkpatrick, defensive end from Miami. He walks in. And what's the guy? Pete Summer worked with me, the GM back then. I forget his name, man. But
Pete was who? I'm sorry. Who was he? The GM?
He was the GM for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Pete. Was
it Pete? Well, I'm trying. I forget who the GM.
Okay.
Well, put it like this: he walks in the facility.
Was it Lynn? What's his name? Oh God, Carl Peterson.
Carl Peterson, not Pete, but Peterson.
Yep.
Carl Peterson.
Yep.
We all walk in together. It's me, Ty Law, that dude, Patrick, you know, a couple other guys. And when we walk in, dog, he looks around like, all right, when we going to get to the facility? And Carl and Peterson was like, this is facility. He said, man, my high school is better than this dumb.
Whoa.
That's what he says to the GM.
Are you really going to say that? I
he
mean,
said it to the GM, and Ty Law turned out and said, yo, Michigan is 10 times better than this here.
Damn.
Right.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
Right. It was crazy, man. It was crazy. So
see, I'm always thinking like these dudes might draft me. I want to get it. You know,
Me too.
I'm saying this is
thing.
beautiful. Thank you. This is great.
I'm thinking the same thing, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
They got that used to do it.
Exactly right. So, by the way, Friday we're gonna have Dave Zingaro from the Combine. So we will talk to Dave on Friday from Indy. Looking forward to that.
Boy.
Yes, he's had some great stuff. Stories and whatnot you got to check out. But we'll talk to Dave on Friday. All right, that'll do it for us. Want to thank Tone DeShields. Great job, Tone.
What already?
Tone.
Did it seem like 3 hours a day?
No, that's good.
No, because you clown, man. You clown most of the time, bro. You just couldn't keep a straight face, man.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, sucker. You started it.
You went like Fred Sanford on him right there. All right. So I want to thank Tone. Want to thank everybody in the chat section, everybody streaming, everybody listening. We do appreciate you guys, and we're looking forward to hanging with you tomorrow as well. Now, don't go anywhere. You got 3 hours coming up of the National Football Show with Dan Cilio. He will continue to discuss all things Eagles, NFL, sports in general. But we're looking forward to hanging out with you tomorrow at the same time. So everybody have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow. For Darren, for Barrett, I'm Rob. We are Sports Take.
Go for the beers. Go for the cheers. Go for the hit and the hits. Go for the scene. Go for the screens. Go for the gallery. Go for the win. Go to Ocean.